Well, is this the night? Is this the night that Group H finally comes alive for Northern Ireland right at the end? I'm not sure, John. I think they've worn all green too many times in this campaign. We've green shorts again tonight, and I think the Danes are in that retro, mainly white kit that they wore in Copenhagen back in the summer. So it's Hazard in goal, winning his 7th cap for Northern Ireland. Hume and Lewis, again, the wing-backs. It's Toll, Kieran Brown coming into the defence, and captain Paddy McNair winning his 67th cap. He goes level with Dave McCreary. Isaac Price, Shea Charles back after suspension, and George Saville, the captain from Friday night. They're the midfield trio with Dale Taylor and Dion Charles, hopefully with the goal threat up front. And then we think the Danes are going to play a slightly different system compared to the one they played in Copenhagen against Slovenia. We think they're going 4-3-3 with Schmeichel in goal, and then a back four: Rasmus Christensen, Andreas Christensen, Joachim Andersen and Victor Christensen. All three Christensen spelled a different way, but that doesn't come across on the radio.
No, so you just say Christensen.
Making his debut wearing number 10 is Celtic's Matt O'Reilly. He's got a Danish mother, alongside Martin Hjulmand and Brentford's Matthias Jensen in midfield, with Jesper Lindstrom and Mohamed Darami either side of Kasper Dolberg. Dolberg's got 11 goals in his previous 42 caps, and he's one of the Anderlecht players in the Danish squad, along with Kasper Schmeichel, who only lasted one season at Nice. Our match officials are French. Jerome Brissard is the referee, and hopefully the fellow we don't hear very much from is the guy sitting in front of the screen, Eric Watelier, the VAR official.
Well, we've blamed the inexperience, we've blamed the injuries, we've blamed the poor performances. Yep. You may as well blame the colour of the ring.
Well,
the
true.
colour of the ring, Michael. That's a new one, but
it's all green against all white. Northern Ireland will be kicking off. They'll be playing from right to left. John O'Neill and I sitting high at the back of the south stand. And the Danes, I don't know if it is that. No, it's not that replica kit. It's their standard away kit, which is all white with basically red sleeves. And they will be defending the goal away to our left. The cop end, Kasper Schmeichel, is all in yellow, and he is winning cap number 99, and he's one of I think only 3 survivors from the Danish team which started the game in Copenhagen back in June, and just one of 4 survivors from Friday night. So the French referee blows his whistle. We are underway. Northern Ireland give a first touch on this near side to Jamal Lewis, and that's the distinctive figure of Kieran Brown, giving it to skipper for the night, Paddy McNair, out to that far side. Of course, Johnny Evans, one of the many injured players. Chance on the edge of the area. The Danes at 6s and 7s. They haven't cleared it convincingly. It's out to Dion Charles on that right-hand side. This is a decent start by Northern Ireland in the opening seconds. And it's swung out by Saville out to the right. But just as I say that, that's a poor touch by Trey Hume. Outside of play on the far side.
It was a decent start, quick ball up to Charles, and just inside the 18-yard box. And like so many times throughout, the game on Friday night, he just can't get it under control and get a shot away.
Danes playing it across the park, and this is Rasmus Christensen wearing 13, winning his 20th cap, playing it right back. Plays a club football with Roma, and in field to Joachim Andersen of Crystal Palace. So you can hear the Danes. They're heading to Germany next summer, and they don't just have that little Trivial Pursuit segment in the far corner. They've got top and bottom section of the north stand as well. Long ball forward down the middle, looking for Dolberg. And Northern Ireland have it. Isaac Price playing in a slightly different role this time around, but the referee's blown his whistle for a foul.
Yeah, it was a late challenge on Shea Charles. I mean, you got to hand it to the supporters, Michael. I mean, I think it's a full house again by the looks of it.
Absolutely. And that bright red and white corner on the far side, and they're watching as Conor Hazard, who's all in black tonight.
Yeah, he'll be hoping for a better game tonight, Michael, because certainly he flapped it a few on
was
Friday
criticised
night.
by the manager for the second goal.
The second goal, and rightly so. I'm sure he feels it himself.
So Conor Hazard winning his 7th cap now on the bench for Plymouth Argyle. Takes the free kick left-footed, looking for McNair, and also Toll, who wins the header. The goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, comes out. His defender gets all over the place in utter confusion, and they've needlessly conceded a corner. Schmeichel says, "Why didn't you make the call?" The defender says, "I didn't hear you." And the Danes haven't woken up.
Michael, it just goes to show you. I mean, the ball from Hazard was a decent ball to the edge of the 18-yard box, and I think it was Toll wins it, knocks it down. Unfortunately, it didn't fall to one of the strikers.
It was Ullman getting tangled up. Brown and Ullman and Schmeichel. Here comes the corner on the left-hand side. It's a low one. Does that appeal for a handball? Certainly the fans behind the goal thought there was something worth investigating. Jamal Lewis heads it up into the night sky, nodded on by Daramy. It's out this side, the Northern Ireland left, and Lewis should be able to get it back to Conor Hazard. A clear first time left-footed, dreadful clearance, only as far as Matthias Jensen of Brentford. Daramy out to that left-hand side. Here come the Danes on the attack. The cross in and beats everybody in the end, beat Dolberg, and it comes out on this near side. Lively start in the opening 3 minutes. Forward by Lewis in field. Couldn't find Dion Charles.
Yeah, it's a poor ball, Michael, and the centre forwards need a better ball than that.
And it's with the Danes inside their own half away to our left. That's a lively, noisy start.
Yeah, hopefully the crowd can get into the game, because sometimes I think we play too slow, don't get it forward quick enough, and if that happens, it's difficult for the crowd to get into the game, and we know they've been a special part of the great nights at Windsor over the years.
Well, they're making a fine noise in the opening 5 minutes.
That's incredible, really.
Danes have it on the left-hand side. It's put out of play by Trey Hume, winning his 10th cap this evening.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we're going to
imagine if the team were in real contention tonight.
If we're going to get something out of this game, they're certainly going to play their part.
TV highlights tonight, BBC 1, Northern Ireland 10:40. Denmark throw in the far side there left. Looking for some movement. Jensen's the closest, waiting for the throw in. He's taking an age over this one. Daramy can't get it past Isaac Price, who helps it forward. That's Anderson's given the ball away. Dion Charles on the halfway line, the Northern Ireland right. He's well tackled by Ullman, and he retains possession. Daramy is providing support, but the Danes have got a little bit of freedom now, and it's Joachim Andersen.
Yeah, they've worked it well from one side of the park to the other.
Rasmus Christensen on this near side. He was well blocked by Dale Taylor, wearing 13. Started a couple of the previous matches. The win here against San Marino, the defeat as well against Slovenia. And the Danes have a little bit of space now on the right-hand side with Lindstrom. Lindstrom's got support from the right back. There's two Northern Ireland defenders in front of him. One was Jamal Lewis. He's twisting and turning, getting the ball back to Ullman. And this is the right back, Christensen. We can say that for any number of players. And O'Reilly, dark-haired Celtic player, number of international options, got a Danish mum, born in Hounslow, and his ball into the area was cut out by Shea Charles. Great to see him back. He's been one of the real pluses in this campaign.
Yeah, he has, and he's the one that we're looking for to do things for us in the future,
to be a leader over the next decade, effectively. John, you have to say. No pressure at all on the lad. He's trying to help Southampton back into the Premier League this season. Rasmus Christensen on the right hand side for Denmark, all in white with those red sleeves. Long sweeping ball by Anderson to Daramy, and that's a good challenge coming in by Hume, putting the ball into the stand there on the far side. Yeah,
it's a great ball, but at the end of the day, again, there we are with those balls again coming on, Michael.
Far too quickly.
Yeah.
Average age in this Northern Ireland squad of 24.1, which is extremely young compared to the sides we've seen. The successful 2016 side, I would say, was a degree older than that, but not too many left from the 2016 vintage. Ullman out to Daramy, who's seeing a lot of the ball on this left-hand side. Trey Hume standing up. Isaac Price adding his support as well. Here they are inside the area, and the cross has been half cleared and nodded away in the end by Shea Charles. Out to Daramy on the left. Danes are piling on the pressure in the 7th minute, and they're trying to get the ball worked for a cross from the left hand side. Here comes the cross ball, looking for Dolberg. It might yet fall. There's been a push though, and the referee's blown for a Northern Ireland free kick.
Yeah, it was good play by Brown. I mean, he's missed the header completely, and he's sort of given a little bit of a dive in there, but the referee's give a free kick. I don't think there was any danger of was it Dolberg or Daramy getting on the end of it, but a little bit slow to close him down on the edge of the 18-yard box there, Michael. We can't afford to give him that amount of room.
Just like on Friday night in Finland, Dolberg, he's big and he's blonde. He's the main threat there. Daramy's out on the left-hand side in the absence of the Manchester United pair who pulled out injured.
It's amazing now, the players on the halfway line by 5 yards either side, the whole two teams.
Ericsson and Hoyland not here. That's a good header, one on by Taylor. Here's Dion Charles and
Yes!
Riches. He's hit the post. He's hit the right hand post. The home fans were preparing to celebrate, and Dion Charles put through by Dale Taylor. That was a fine shot. Schmeichel was beaten, and it thudded off the right hand upright in the 8th minute.
I thought he'd scored, Michael. And again, it's an early ball up. Taylor wins the ball, flicks it on, and their defenders can't cope. Charles, I really did think he'd scored. It was a great strike. Unfortunately, it just cut the outside of the post.
The fans behind the goal, I think Dion Charles thought he'd scored.
Yeah, I thought he had as well.
There was a Northern Ireland player pushed off the park there. It's a free kick. It was Trey Hume was fouled.
Yeah, again, I think it was one of those ones that was after the ball. The referees waited to see if there was an advantage, but he's then called it back. But I mean, this is just a ball out from the goalkeeper, and actually the centre half knocks it on.
Yep.
And he's hit it. Oh, he's unlucky.
The Danes creating problems for themselves. It was a defensive header that put Dion Charles through.
It was a difficult angle for him, Michael, but he struck it well, and an inch to the left, that hits the post and goes in.
Northern Ireland free kick on the right hand side. McNair's up, Toll's up, Kieran Brown is up, Saville and Isaac Price standing over it on the far side, a couple of yards in from the touchline. It's going to be Price with the right foot looking for Brown. Beats everybody in the end. Took a flick off a defender. That's how to play for a throw in.
I've been saying this, over the period now. I don't think defenders know how to defend anymore. I mean, down through the years, you used to be able to talk about all the great defenders. I couldn't tell you a good defender now. And anything that goes into the box, and any pace and any height, they struggle to get it away.
Oxford United's Kieran Brown. He was winding up for the attempted long throw, but it's not going to happen. He's going to instead throw to Paddy McNair. Infield on the Northern Ireland left-hand side. Swings the cross to the back post. The header comes in from Owen Toll, and it goes wide, but this is an impressive start.
It is a good start.
10 minutes from Northern Ireland.
Every ball they've put into the box, the Danes have been struggling to deal with it. I mean, that header down from Owen Toll wasn't a great header, but we've got to be a little bit more lively. Once you're always playing for the second ball and take a chance. I think we're reacting after the ball's played. We should be trying to react just before the guy heads the ball. Let's give it away.
Danes have coughed it up again. The Saville on the halfway line. Jamal Lewis getting all tangled up with 3 white-shirted Danish players, but he's done well to keep it alive. To Shea Charles, back to Paddy McNair, helping it on to goalkeeper Hazard, who chips that with the left foot. That's held up in the wind to Daramy on the left-hand side.
He's hit that like a 9er, and it's straight up in the air. To be fair to him, the pitch looks a little bit bumpy, particularly around the goalmouth, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, Michael, but the wind might be into him as well, so he's not getting distance on his kicks.
Remember, the Danes finished third in the last iteration of the European Championship finals, beaten in the semi-finals by England, and they will be back in the finals in Germany next summer. And here's Matt O'Reilly hoping to be part of that squad. It's out to the right back and played in field to one of the 3 Christiansens. Here is Rasmus Christiansen getting it back to Anderson, and across the field to Andreas Christiansen. They elect to go down the left-hand side with Mohamed Daramy. There's a nice run made there by Jensen. It's cleared by McNair. One pass cut the Northern Ireland defence nearly open there. Dion Charles on the right-hand side wins the throw-in, still deep inside his own half. We've played 11 minutes. Northern Ireland 0, Denmark 0, but Dion Charles has hit the post.
Yeah, again on that right-hand side, Michael, we've gone to sleep a little bit and letting players run off us. But that's the type of luck we've had right throughout this campaign. I've always said, if you're able to get a goal, get yourself and get your noses in front, it makes the whole game totally different. It gets you something to hang on to.
There's an attempted volley upfield by Shea Charles. It is a bit blustery down there. The Danes haven't settled into this game at all. Remember, they've made 7 changes from Friday night there. They are already qualified for the European finals, and they should have considered an equaliser in Copenhagen to Callum Marshall.
I know.
But for, was it Johnny Evans's fingernail or nose or elbow, spotted by an over-officious VAR man. Daramy, they've pinpointed Trey Hume again. Daramy's got past Hume. Well, Hume's held him up, but the Danes are able to find another white shirt. And here they go trying to get the ball into the area, and that's a terrible pass, and that's out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, but they're looking for Jensen in there, and we're not getting tight to him. That's 2 or 3 times he's just been a poor touch on the edge of the box or a poor pass, otherwise the Northern Ireland defence is in trouble there.
It's 33 players used by
amazing.
Michael O'Neill in 9 group games so far. Terry Devlin and Michael Forbes have been sent back to the under-21s. They've got a big game away to England tomorrow night.
This drives me mad here, Michael. You know, I don't know what we're trying to do here. We're trying to take a short free kick or short goal kick.
Conor has just been told to get on with it.
Yeah. I have to say, get your centre halves up to just inside the D, short of the halfway line. Put it into their half of the field, and we'll play from there.
And he will eventually clear it left-footed. Again, I think it hangs up a bit in the breeze. Denmark win the header only as far as Shea Charles on the far side, who's made that 19 his own. We remember when it was Jimmy Ward's jersey back in the day.
There we go again,
a terrible
Michael.
attempt at clearance by the Danes. The edge of their own penalty area, chested down by George Saville and out of play. They're all over the place.
They're all over the place, and it's simple ball. It's a simple ball knocked into the centre of defence. They don't know how to deal with it. They can't defend.
Northern Ireland throw-in, nearly level with the 18-yard box of the Danes on the far side. Trey Hume with that tash will take the throw-in. Isaac Price has made himself available. Shea Charles is providing some movement as well. He throws to the feet of Price, gets the ball back. Hume tries to slot it through to Isaac Price, but Durrami cuts out the danger. The Danes have it inside their own penalty area, and they're just retaining possession the side of the D. Caelan Boyd Munce has come onto the bench, so he has got a chance. The St Mirren player of an international debut. Matty Kennedy has missed out on being named in the squad for both these games. 4-0 it was to the Finns on Friday night in Helsinki.
That's as good a, was it almost 15 minutes that we've had in the whole campaign.
That's a long ball by Anderson out to that left hand side. Trey Hume comes across, the ball goes into the penalty area and nodded out of play for a corner by Paddy McNair.
Yeah, McNair did well. He was waiting for the ball to see if it was going to go out for a goal kick, but it just held up on the turf, and O'Reilly was closing in on it, so he just had to knock it out for a corner.
So the corner will be taken in front of those Danish fans in that far corner of the pitch. George Saville's pointing exactly where the defensive line should be around the penalty spot. There's 5 Danish attackers grouped just in front of the penalty spot. There's movement now. Riley's gone to the near post. The ball goes to the back post where Anderson's trying to win the header, and it's a weak one and out of play. Yeah,
it was a poor corner. He's hit it right to the back post, almost to the edge of the 6-yard box. And,
I thought that was a small bird. It was one of Taggart's sweetie wrappers.
Sweet wrappers come out of the box. Lewis did well, and I think it was Anderson then just couldn't get on the end of it.
The extent of the breeze. Did you think it was a bird?
I wasn't sure what it was. It certainly distracted us.
Dairy milk wrapper. Flicked header by Shea Charles, who picks the ball up again on the halfway line. Back to Paddy McNair. Yes, level with the great Dave McCreary on 67 caps. And it makes him the joint 19th all-time cap winner for the men's team. There's an offside flag up on the far side.
Yeah, is it
Isaac Price?
Isaac Price. I mean, it's a great ball from McNair, picks him out, but you know he's out there on his own. He's got to look across the field and see that he's offside.
So a mixture of experience and youth on the bench. Quite a few players with not very many caps. Josh McGuinness is still there, waiting to come on, win cap 77.
No, I know, and when you look at their team, Michael, and you know the clubs that they're playing with and the experience that they have, it's difficult for our players, and that's why you know the chance that Dion Charles has, if it puts it in, it gives you that little bit of impetus to just keep going.
Again, they're looking for that ball out to Durrami, and Hume didn't take any chances, not out of play, and it's another corner on the Danish left.
I think if he had got a call from Hazard, he could have took that down and just gently put it back to him, but he wasn't sure where Durrami was, and he did the right thing.
So Durrami's come for the short corner. It's going to be played in by Matthias Jensen of Brentford, and this is a corner from the far side, the Danish left. Again, that knot of white-shirted players around the penalty spots. In swinger, and
again, I mean,
Brown flicks it out of play for a corner on this side. He could have left it.
Yeah, Jamal Lewis has got to give him a shout there. There's nobody near him. There's not a white shirt anywhere near him. It was similar to the first corner that they had there, Michael. They're looking to get him round the back, but nobody made the run. Brown had covered it, and all he needed to do was a shout from Jamal Lewis and let it go out for a goal kick.
As it is, first Danish corner from the right-hand side. Again, it's going to be Jensen with it. Durrami's offering the short option. And Northern Ireland trying to cut out the option of it going straight into the near post. Here comes the corner, well headed away outside the area. The shot's going to come in, blocked by Isaac Price.
Good block by Price.
Spills up into the night sky. Still bouncing around on the edge of the area, but that's a foul on George Saville.
Yeah, Christensen's, they're both waiting for the ball up in the air as it's come down. Christensen's just run straight into him. Good block by Price. He got out quick after the initial corner. I think it was cleared by McNair.
The atmosphere feels like a wee bit like, well, dare I say, the olden days, but
you know,
they've had something to shout about.
We don't want to tempt fate here, no. But as I say, this is as good a performance that we've seen.
We played 18.5 minutes. Northern Ireland 0, Denmark 0, and the one thing to talk about is Dion Charles hitting the post in the 8th minute. Upfield from Conor Hazard, inside the Danish half there, right, hooked away by the full back. Header won by Shea Charles. Back to Paddy McNair, who controls it very nicely and plays it back to Conor Hazard. Terrible sliced clearance to the left foot.
He should take a touch there. I think he's got more time than he realises, and I think he's wary of the pitch. I'm not sure if he's that good a striker of the ball when it's coming back to him. Certainly from goal kicks and free kicks he can get the distance, but I think he's a little bit wary of the pitch.
When you look at the inexperience in the goalkeeping slot, McMullen hasn't won a cap at all. Southwood's played 45 minutes, hasn't played any competitive football. Hazard winning his 7th cap, and you're up against Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, I know. It's
37 years old.
It's a lot to ask of the players, but you know, as I said on Friday night, Michael, they've got to grow up very, very quickly. They've got to try and learn this game as quickly as possible.
That's an overstruck ball forward by Rasmus Christensen. And signals his apology. It's out of play for a goal kick.
And the two lads were saying before the game, I mean, it was the same when I came into the side. I had acres and loads of experience around me, you know, for at least 10 or 15 games where you can try and find your feet a little bit. And I think around that time, I think 2 or 3 of us were saying, I think it was like the likes of Mal Donegan and Polly Hamilton were making their debut, but that was 3 players, and you consider the amount of players that have played in this campaign alone.
No goals yet in Group H, so it's Slovenia 0, Kazakhstan 0, and San Marino are holding Finland a goalless draw. 0-0 here at the National Stadium at Windsor Park. The ball's held back, an awkward one for Kasper Schmeichel. Drills it right-footed, low.
Yeah, there's one thing about Schmeichel, he's always been good with the ball at his feet. It was a great clearance under pressure.
England 0-0 away to North Macedonia. Ukraine, Italy, the decider in that one, 0-0 as well. That's in England's group. Durrami on the left-hand side. Up against Shea Charles. Turns well. Mohamed Durrami slots it through. Here's a chance. Ball squared. That's a terrible touch in front of goal. And it drifts out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, I think
the Danes.
It was a great cross into Durrami, really. Sorry, it was Dahlberg, I think.
Dahlberg in front of goal, missed his kick completely.
And
on this near side, Christensen has failed to control the ball.
But again,
conceded a throw into Northern Ireland.
Down that right hand side, all the dangers coming. Durrami's having a lot of joy down there.
Good job the Danes weren't coming with it. They wouldn't have played this team were they coming here needing to get something out of the match. They're able to experiment. And it's not quite all connecting for the Danes at the minute, those 7 changes.
Well, we were talking to sort of the Danish counterpart before the game, Michael, and he was saying that the manager actually has been getting a lot of stick. It's crazy when you think
they were being held 1-1 by San Marino.
Yeah, but I think this is his 3rd tournament they've qualified for in a row.
Got the semi-finals 2 years ago. And here they are. They've yet to force a save out of Conor Hazard in the opening quarter of the match. And they're retaining possession inside their own half, and Rasmus Christensen, the right back, passes in feeble again. That's a poor pass, and Northern Ireland are able to win the ball back through Dale Taylor, who does well. That's not a great pass by Lewis looking for Dion Charles.
He's done that a few times. He's just put it either side of Charles and he can't get in the game.
Lindstrom of Napoli, wearing 18, winning his 16th cap. At the minute, some of the fringe players aren't quite taking the opportunities for him, put in front of them by manager Kasper Hjulmand. No relation to the midfielder. And Rasmus Christiansen, he's seen a lot of the ball on the right hand side. We're a quarter of the way through this final qualifier for Northern Ireland and Denmark in Group H, and just Dion Charles' shot against the post. And
good play by Charles. Ullman's looking for time there. They're trying to draw Northern Ireland out, but to be fair to the lads, they're just sitting there and more or less saying you've got to try and play through us. He's done him. He's
gone past Hume, who's brought him down. A challenge more likely to be seen in the on the pitch of Ravenhill.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't book him here. I mean, he's done him, and he's just pulled him back.
Him with both hands.
Yeah. I think he's got away with it, though, is he? I didn't see a card.
I don't think a card's been shown, no.
He looks a threat on the left-hand side.
Durrami plays for Ream. And here the ball's going to come in from the right-hand side for the Danes. Volleyed away by Isaac Price. It's up in the air on the edge of the penalty area. Shot's going to come in and it's drilled over the top. And that's the first shot on goal that the Danes have affected. Hjulmand with it, and it was a foot over the bar.
It was a long way out. It was straight at Hazard. I mean, if that's anywhere on the goal at all, he'll deal with that comfortably, but it's too high and it's gone over the bar.
A couple of feet over the bar in the end, and Hazard, all in black, will take the goal kick. He's away to our right.
Well, if you came in and looked at the game and you didn't know who was top of the group and who had only beat San Marino, it'd be difficult to see which was which. And probably, Northern Ireland is good at the best chance of the game.
There's a good flicked header on the far side, nearly sending Price away down the right.
Football's simple, the kick out from the goalkeeper, flick on, and they've give us a throw now, 15-20 yards inside their half. Let's play the game in their half.
Hume will take that throw on the far side, the Northern Ireland right. Savills made himself available, goes to Charles, gives the ball back, but it's meat and drink to the Danish defence. It's played back up towards with Dion Charles.
That's brilliant.
In true Bolton fashion, backing into the defender. Here's Shea Charles. That's nicely worked. Just slightly overstruck for Price on the far side. But
again, Michael,
you can see what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, Charles is making it difficult for the centre halves, and they're giving us the ball, 10 or 15 yards outside their 18-yard box. That's what we want to play. Look, they've made another mistake.
They've given the ball away on the Northern Ireland right-hand side. Isaac Price gets the cross in, nodded away.
Yeah, it was a poor cross at the finish. It deserved a better cross from the build-up.
It's gone infield and Saville tidies up and is back with Brown inside the centre circle. Brown putting that ball hopefully forward, looking for Dale Taylor, but the Danes just get it forward. A chance for them to attack with Matt O'Reilly. White socks halfway down his shins. It's out to Durrami on the left-hand side. Right-footed cross in, looking for somebody in a white shirt. Hasn't been cleared by Northern Ireland. Is now back to Durrami on that far side. Yeah,
well, that's the danger. We were pressing there and having good pressure, and then a poor ball, and they're into the back four right away.
21 players inside the Northern Irish half. Rasmus Christiansen, the right back, gives it back to Anderson. Once again, that long sweeping ball to Mohamed Durrami. He's got away from Hume. Durrami, right-footed shot, is blocked by Kieran Brown. He's got the ball back again. Durrami gets to the byline, and Isaac Price is able to pick possession up. Just for a moment there, Northern Ireland went to sleep in defence.
Yeah, we went to sleep. I mean, Durrami's did well again. He's done Trey Hume on that right-hand side again and come inside. He's hit the shot. McNair's done well to block it, but then we've all stood around and watched it. We were lucky we got away with it.
Durrami, most influential player. 26 minutes for Denmark, and they have the ball once more on the left-hand side outside the Northern Ireland penalty area. It's laid back. Could be a long-range shot, and well wide in the end.
Nice. Well, how far out is that, Michael?
From
30
Anderson.
yards.
Joachim Anderson.
Shows you how much we're frustrating them if that's where they're going to hit the ball from.
I don't think he scored so far in his 28 previous caps, the Palace man.
I'm surprised with a shot like that. We're just showing a replay there of Durrami's shot. It's hit McNair on the hand, but his hand was right in front of his chest, so there certainly was no appeals for a penalty.
Michael O'Neill standing, hands in pockets, his black coat.
That's a foul.
The edge of his area. That was a challenge on Price on the far side. Play continues because Dion Charles has it. He's put it behind the defender, but
we've got to get. I mean, like, we're too far away, Michael. We've got to get the midfield players up to the halfway line, up to the edge of the 18-yard box.
The Danes have conceded possession, nearly coughed it up to Dale Taylor inside the penalty area, and that's going to be a yellow card. That was a pull in the shorts of O'Reilly by George Saville. That's going to be a yellow card.
He needed to do that, Michael. Again, that's the one danger we've got to be careful of. We're pressing again, we're doing well at this end of the field, and then when they get on the ball, they move it very, very quickly. O'Reilly had broke clear, and to be fair, you can't complain about getting booked there.
No.
But it was the right thing for the team.
Took one for the team, George Saville. I'm sure he didn't enjoy the scoreline or the second half performance on the occasion of his 50th captaincy on Friday night.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for that first goal. Danes have it inside the Northern Ireland half. It's 0-0. We've played 28 minutes in what is effectively, in terms of qualification, in terms of Group H, a dead rubber.
Yeah, it's a dead rubber, but at the end of the day, we keep saying it, we're looking towards the future, and this is where the guys that are young and inexperienced are going to learn the game.
Slovenia still 0-0 with Kazakhstan. The winner goes through on a qualifying spot from that one. Slovenia starting 1 point ahead of Kazakhstan. It's Darami on the left hand side. He's coming in field.
It's just gone a little quiet in the ground again. We just can't seem to get the ball now at the minute.
Andreas Christensen to his central defensive partner Joachim Andersen. Out to the right hand side, and Christensen the right back. Back to Andersen.
But again, Michael, they're defending well. They're making them go around the outside all the time.
So the Danes are retaining possession, and you hear them cheering every pass on the far side, and they've given the ball away. They've won it back again, though.
I'll tell you what.
Opportunity for Hulman to spread it out that left hand side. Cross is going to come into the back post. Real danger. Good header one, and the shot comes in. It's deflected wide in the end. That was very nearly a goal for Denmark. Andersen with a shot took a deflection, and Hazard was happy to see it spin.
Yeah, I think it hit
a yard wide.
It was a decent cross, and I think it's Jamal Lewis that gets it away. It doesn't get a lot of it hit O'Reilly. Lewis gets a header, but doesn't get a lot of distance on it, and I think it was I think it hit O'Reilly and went out for a goal kick, but that could have easily ended up in the back of the net.
Moment of panic gone for the home fans. Half an hour gone, 0-0 here at the National Stadium at Windsor Park. Clearance upfield by Conor Hazard. Flicks off the back of Matt O'Reilly's head, but the Danes have it on their left. That's a good challenge coming in by Shea Charles. Just can't slot it through.
Just can't get that final pass at the minute.
Looking for that pass through to Dion Charles. Czechs are one up in Group E against Moldova, but that's not really of much interest unless you're a Czech. Still England being held 0-0 away to North Macedonia. A number of withdrawals from the England squad. Still probably not as many as Michael O'Neill has suffered.
No, I'm sure.
In this campaign. Danes are encamping themselves a little bit in the Northern Irish half, John, the last 5 or 10 minutes.
That. But as I say, they're at the minute they're just going round the outside and coming back and going across the field, and that's all right. I don't mind that.
Andersen lost a lovely. Christensen hasn't been cleared. Chance for Rasmus Christensen.
Yeah.
Good diving stop in the end by Conor Hazard. Bit of pinball there in the Northern Ireland penalty area.
Yeah, it
was initiated by Rasmus Christensen. He nearly got in the end of it.
Yeah, but it was a great backheel. I think it was by Jensen, was it, that put him in. But again, we've defended well, and Conor Hazard did well to come out and just smother the ball in front of him.
Yeah, that smart bit of skill from Matthias Jensen. Little back flick.
Oh, he's just hit that one too long
clearance
this time. He really has launched that one.
That was all the way through to the man in yellow, Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, I think you can see Michael O'Neill up on the touchline there, just telling them to squeeze up and try and squeeze it as far up the park as they can, while Hazard's hitting the goal kick.
Long ball. Lindstrom's gone on the run. Lewis has gone with him. He's getting behind Lewis, but it was a great first touch by Kieran Brown. He's put it out to this near to the corner flag on the Danish right, and the Danes have it, and it's Jensen looking for some movement in front of him. That's taken on by Lindstrom, trying to win the corner.
He's doing well.
And Lewis has done well to protect the football, and that'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, Lewis and Brown both got themselves in a little bit of trouble there. Lewis got the wrong side of the attacker, and Brown's first touch put it straight to Jensen, but the two of them sort of got together and and forced it out for a goal kick. But I'm glad to see Michael. Every time he gets a goal kick, he's basically now putting it in the opposition's half. If he gets the ball knocked back to him and he can take his time, he's doing the same as well.
Yeah, long clearance over the halfway line out to the Northern Irish right. But Daramy has possession, and it flicks off his teammate. Now to play, the game's just fizzled and died, and gone a bit dull.
And the crowd's got nothing to cheer about.
After quite a pacey, lively, noisy start,
yeah,
Dion Charles went so close to giving Northern Ireland the lead. Throw in looking for Dion Charles on that far side. It's he's always trying to make a nuisance of himself, Dion Charles.
Yeah. That's good play.
He's got Pat. That's Trey Hume, and
going to be
a yellow card, I think. And Trey Hume goes in a very late challenge.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he's going to be in eggshells for the remaining 60 minutes.
Saw that on Friday night, Michael, as well. I think
foul on Ullman.
I think he's a tough tackler, but I think he dives in sometimes recklessly.
He was about half an hour late for that one. So Hume joins Saville in referee Brissard's notebook, and the Danes play the free kick on the left-hand side short. 12 minutes left in the first half. It's 0-0. Daramy slots the ball through. Real opportunity. Shot. And the man coming in, who was Dahlberg, actually deflected it further away from the goal than if he just left it.
Yeah, he needed to open his foot up, Michael, and try and deflect it into the far left-hand corner of Hazard's goal. But again, down that right-hand side, we're going to sleep. Daramy in particular, little 1-2s in the box. A great cross, and as you say, we're just watching it again, and Dahlberg just doesn't open his foot enough and basically puts it out for a goal kick where he should have really hit the target from there.
It was great stuff from Victor Christensen, making that run into the area.
That was a beautiful reverse pass from.
On another night, Daramy. That would have been 1-0 to the visitors.
Yeah. Now this is where we've got to get up the park and support
Northern Ireland on the right-hand side. Shay Charles, a little knot of players, and Dion Charles trying to slot it through, and the Danes just hoof it out of play.
As soon as we get into their back four, Michael, they're panicking, and I just can't understand it. I expected more from Christian. I thought he was a better player than that. I mean, he's playing for Barcelona.
Ball's out of play. Northern Ireland player feeling Lewis he's fit to continue. There's a discussion between Jeremy O'Carroll and Michael O'Neill in the middle of the technical area right down below us. It's a blustery but dry evening here in Belfast, and the ball is down by that corner flag on the far side. And has Isaac Price won a corner?
No, he hasn't. No, he's got to be stronger. Again, that's another thing you got to learn at this level. You got to be strong.
These are only young fellas, John.
They're only young fellas, and to say Christensen's just has been around the block a few times, and he was just using his body. It was too strong for him. You saw it with McCausland as well. A good hour on Friday night, but he's only a young lad. You're looking at him and think he should still be at school, but they've got to grow up very quickly.
Still a remarkable paucity of goals in the group matches tonight right across Europe. Out to this right-hand side, Rasmus Christensen. Northern Ireland have worked really hard, haven't they? The opening 35 minutes.
They're quite prepared to let them have it in their own half, and they can pass it about all day, and I don't have a problem with that. It's just down the right-hand side sometimes as they get towards the 18-yard box. Their movement is good, and we've sort of lost a little bit of concentration and don't stay with the runners.
Daramy on the halfway line, infield to Ullman. Ullman gets it out to the left.
This is excellent play from them.
This is Victor Christensen. Infield to Ullman. More centrally positioned is Joachim Andersen. All this play going on inside the Northern Ireland half. Out to the right-hand side and back again to Jensen. I
think they've got to do it quicker. We're happy now. We're all back and roll defending and in the right places.
Again, it's that diagonal ball to Mohamed Daramy. And again, Isaac Price is doubling up the defensive support for Trey Hume. Anderson once more back out to Daramy.
Yeah, you got to close him down quicker. The ball's going out there and you're giving them time to get it under control.
Victor Christensen gets it back to Daramy.
Victor Christensen
got to the byline, cross into the back post. Defensive header up by Kieran Brown. It's still there for Denmark. Been pinged up into the sky. It's out for a corner. The Danes are appealing for a handball.
Yeah, Brown's done well there. But at the end of the day, Michael, it's Shay Charles just goes to sleep here. He just lets him run off him, and he's got a free cross into the box. It's good defending by Brown.
Who are they looking for? That
I think it's just
McNair or Toll?
It's just bounced off maybe McNair's arm, but I don't think he knew much about it. But they'll call for anything. They'll cry for anything.
No, that'll be exactly the same the other end of the park.
Yeah, it's nonsense. That just shows you how ridiculous VAR is.
How many corners is that? It's about 4 or 5 for the Danes now. We've got one from the left-hand side, again right in front of their supporters. Jensen will take it, right-footed, an in-swinger. It'll land probably on top of Conor Hazard. It's flicked. Hazard saves at the near post. Flicked header. Great save. Reaction.
Yeah, it was a good save.
Danger hasn't gone though. Durrami. They get it out to that left-hand side. I'm not sure Hazard knew an awful lot about it, but he did well to keep it out at his near post, and that was a vital moment, a vital save by Conor Hazard. Northern Ireland clear the ball upfield, but it's only finding white shirts, and here they come again.
Yeah, this is Denmark's best period of the game. We just can't get out of our own half at the minute.
Northern Ireland do well to keep a clean sheet up to half-time. Here comes the cross on the left-hand side. Owen Toll should cut out the danger. He's moving towards the corner flag on the far side, and they tidy up very nicely, and Shea Charles will hit it long and low, but
poor ball, and that's the ball you need. You need
couldn't find Taylor.
No, you need to find feet and get yourselves out, and ease that pressure a little bit.
Pressure's back on.
Back on again.
It's the men all in green against the men all in white, and it's been all in the Northern Ireland half for about the last 10 or 15 minutes, but it's still 0-0. Hazard making a vital save. I've yet to see the replay of that one.
This is where they're pressing us, 10 yards outside the box. You've got to keep your concentration here.
Muleman twisting and turning, edge of the area, real danger now. He's got past one. He hasn't got past Toll.
Yeah, Toll
got a
poor
good clearance by Hume though.
Yeah.
Pressure's back on. Durrami on the left hand side. He's got past Price. He's done brilliantly. Durrami gets the cross into the back post. Danger, but not a clear and convincing header by the man at the back post. And Jamal Lewis is hassling and harrying. He's trying to get that ball clear, and it's going to squirt clear, and it will fall to a green shirt. Kieran Brown hoofed it away, and he's very lucky that it deflects off a Dane and goes out of play.
I mean, that was good defending by Jamal Lewis. Now, I wouldn't say he's been the best defender for us over the period.
Save again. It was going to be an own goal, I think.
It was
off Toll.
It's hard to say who it actually
Difficult
came off
to
there,
say,
but it took a deflection, and Hazard did well. But again, at the back post, Jamal Lewis did very well against Christensen there.
So, that Conor Hazard save might have been off Toll, might have been off the defender. Difficult to see on the replay, but it is still 0-0, and well marshalled out by Kieran Brown for a goal kick.
Yeah, he was strong against Dahlberg there and just shepherded out for a goal kick. Now, this is where you take your time a little bit, Hazard. We've been under the cosh for a little bit there. Clear your lines, get everybody up over the halfway line, and again try and get a hold of the ball in their half.
Hazard left-footed.
He strikes a good dead ball.
Puts it up over the halfway line on the far side.
Got to get on the second one. We've got to react quicker and get on the second ball.
Cleared by the Danes to that far side. Durrami keeps the ball in with a header. That pass could have gone anywhere, but
we just can't get a hold of it, Michael. Everything's going to them. Every second ball, every knockabout just seems to be landing at a white shirt.
It was about this time on Friday night that Northern Ireland conceded the penalty 5 minutes before half time, when they had worked as hard in the opening 40 minutes that they've done here and kept the thing scoreless. Sweeping ball out to the right hand side, and Rasmus Christensen, Jamal Lewis in front of him. Dale Taylor's come back as well. Ball played infield, and the Danes still have it on their right. It's helped on by Jensen, but it wasn't good, and Northern Ireland a little bit of relief for them as they can break away with Dale Taylor, who wins the throw in right in the halfway line.
Taylor did well, Michael. There's nothing in front of him, and he knows he can't just knock it up the line, so he's waited for the challenge, and they've duly applied, and we've got the throw in on the halfway line.
Long throw by Brown to a white shirt.
Away. I mean, I don't know what he's trying there. Take your time.
Northern Ireland living off scraps, and they've coughed up possession.
I mean, Brown should never have thrown that ball.
He's throwing it into the wind as well, so he wasn't going to get any great distance on it.
You've got to slow the game down. It's all Denmark at the minute. You've got to take the pace out of the game.
3.5 minutes of normal time left. His goal is here at Windsor Park. It's a chilly evening, blustery breeze. Here come the Danes again on the left, but Victor Christensen just didn't look where Durrami was. Chipped away by Hume.
An awful clearance.
and is helped forward by Ullman, and Owen Toll will just watch this ball roll out of play.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in that situation there, Hume's got
it's
to
just an endless series of Danish attacks that go
but
nowhere.
I mean, we're not clearing their lines well enough. I mean, Hume should just put the laces through the ball and got that into the over the halfway line again.
The Danes are even quiet.
They are
looking
quiet,
a bit bored on the far side, the Danish fans.
Well, in general, we've played well. There's a few times, particularly on that our right hand side, their left, where we've gone to sleep and let men run off us, and then the crosses have come in, but we've dealt with it so far.
Another good clearance over the halfway line by Conor Hazard, nodded out of play by the Danes on the halfway line.
We're talking about 2-3 minutes left, so take your time here. We should be getting somebody down that right line. Don't go back, throw the ball down the line and play in their half.
Trey Hume takes the throw-ins a couple of yards inside the Danish half, gets the ball back from Shea Charles, pokes it forward for Isaac Price. 3 white shirts around him, ball forward towards Taylor, who's popping up on the right. It bounces nicely for Taylor, but he's got 2 defenders in front of him. Durrami does brilliantly. Lovely little flicks and twists and turns, but he plays Anderson into some trouble.
That's where you got to push up there.
Ball's at the feet of Casper Schmeichel on his penalty spot, all in bright yellow. And I think the Danes will be quite happy to play down the last 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Can't imagine there's going to be much additional time to be played at the end of this first half. And the Danes once more, one of the outlets is Rasmus Christensen on this right hand side. Ball in field, helped forward, but that's
we just can't seem to get
the they seem to have a couple of extra men.
Yeah, we just can't
shirts.
seem to get the breakdown. It always goes to a white shirt.
Slovenia are 1 up against Kazakhstan. They've taken the lead just before half-time in Ljubljana. 0-0 here. North Macedonia lead against England. Anderson gets it out to this near side. Rasmus Christensen going to get a cross into the back post. He's overstruck that completely. Victor Christensen, no relation, will keep it in on the Danish left. And Northern Ireland have 1 minute left, and there's going to be a long-range shot, low one, and took a deflection, and Hazard did well to save with his legs. Brilliantly. That's a Pat Jennings save.
It is a Pat Jennings save. He's gone to his right, and deflection has took it back over to his left, and he's managed to hook that out with his left foot. He did well. His reactions were good there.
25-30 yards out.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it came off, but it was a tremendous reaction save.
Came off as deflected away by Hazard's left leg, so that's 2 crucial saves. The tail end of this half. Durrami's challenges. He's looking very.
He's the best player in the park at the minute.
He's looking very tidy. Here comes the cross from the left, headed away by the Northern Ireland defence. 30 seconds of normal time left. Has anybody seen a board yet?
Clear it. Yeah, get up as far as you can. Clear him up the park.
So Slovenia, as it stands, are going to go through along with Denmark from Group H.
They've got to make sure they see this last minute or whatever it is out, Michael, because they've done well and they don't want to be going to sleep now and giving the Danes anything.
I have a soft spot for the Slovenians. If it's not going to be Northern Ireland, I'm quite happy to see them go through.
Yeah. There we go.
So there we are.
5 minutes. That's
2 seconds. 2 additional seconds played. And the French referee blows his whistle. So the closest to a goal, well, those 2 late saves by Conor Hazard, the flicked header at the near post, the deflected shot with Pat Jennings save with his legs, but
the best chance going
best chance of the half, Dion Charles.
And he was unlucky. He's done everything right, just dragged it maybe a little bit, an inch too far, and it's hit the post and come out. To be honest, Michael, it's probably the best 45 minutes I've seen us play. They look comfortable. They got to make sure on that right hand side that they don't go to sleep, because they, particularly with Durrami on that left hand side for them, he's been their best player. We started off really well, and we're getting joy in with the long balls off it, but for some reason now we just can't seem to get to the breakdown and the knockdown, and that's sort of stumped us a little bit, and they've come into the game more. But I considering they're top of the group, we've got a lot of experience in the team. I think everybody's got to be pleased at the minute. Just try and get the crowd back into it in the second half.
If it's still 0-0 after 60 minutes, if you're Michael O'Neill, do you throw on? Do you look for that winning goal to end the group with a little bit of a high, or do you protect the point?
No, I would like to see us have a go, Michael. So it doesn't really matter, if you go out and have a go, and the supporters will react to that. whether you get beat 1-0 or at the finish, it's not going to matter. A 0-0, it's probably all right, but I would rather see us maybe try and win the game.
The Danes have seen an awful lot of the ball, but they've not really got out of second gear.
No, they
have
haven't. And my worry is that that they might win at half time and the manager might have a few words to say to them. I don't think they're passing it quick enough. I don't think they're getting round the back of us enough. But that's down, obviously to the good defending on our part. But we've seen it all throughout this campaign. The first 10 or 15 minutes of the second halves, we haven't been good, Michael.
69% possession, the stats say, for Denmark.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter.
Two attempts on target.
Yeah.
Does Dion Charles's shot hitting the post that's not an attempt on target?
No, it's not.
If it had been on target, it would have been in the net.
Goal, yeah. That's a strange one, isn't it? You hit the post, you hit the bar, it's not on target.
Well, the Danes have got the likes of Vint and Poulsen and Delaney on the bench. Should they want to bring some experience and threat up front in the second half?
Yeah, and it goes back to, we talked about, the fact that Finland were able to bring Pukki on, somebody with a bit of class, and he showed it. And Denmark have the potential to do that.
Okay, remember there's no Rasmus Højlund, there's no Christian Eriksen here, but sort of scratch Danish team have only played in fits and starts, and Northern Ireland hit the post in the 8th minute through Dion Charles. So at half time here at the National Stadium at Windsor Park, it's Northern Ireland 0, Denmark 0.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, John. Half-time thoughts from Jim Magilton and Keith Gillespie to come. But first, for those of you who've been patiently waiting, here's the latest BBC News.
BBC News NI on Radio Ulster and on BBC Sounds.
And with the news, I'm Bob Huggins. Good evening. The UK government says Northern Ireland will not receive any money from a £1 billion funding scheme because of Stormont's collapse. The Levelling Up Department announced funding for 55 projects across Great Britain. DUP MP Sammy Wilson said the government leaving Northern Ireland out of the fund is punitive.
I have already challenged the Minister in Parliament today, and I'm sure you'll be able to get the record of that. I've accused him of economic blackmail in the decision he has made.
A friend of the Palestinian family that was reunited at Dublin Airport last night says they're grateful for the support they've received from the people of Ireland. 30-year-old Khalid El-Astal's wife and other family members were killed in a bomb blast in Gaza last month. Yesterday, the Belfast-born man was reunited with his 4-year-old son Ali and 1-year-old daughter Sarah. Fred Rooney is a friend of Khalid's late wife, Ashwak.
It was really a dream come true to be able to see them reunited with their father. They hadn't seen him for over a year because he was working in Saudi Arabia. He's very, very grateful for all that the Foreign Affairs Office did and for the outpouring. I've never in my life seen such outpouring of caring and support.
The government's former chief scientific advisor, Sir Patrick Vallance, has told the COVID inquiry he had known nothing about Rishi Sunak's Eat Out to Help Out scheme until after it was launched. He said his advice would have been clear that the measure would spread the disease. Sir Patrick also said the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson was sometimes bamboozled by the science.
I think I'm right in saying that the Prime Minister at the time gave up science when he was 15. And I think he'd be the first to admit it wasn't his forte and that he did struggle with some of the concepts and we did need to repeat them often.
And the United Nations says greenhouse gases have to be cut by 45% by 2030 to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. Scientists have warned of catastrophic consequences if the planet's temperature increases by more than that. Now Jeff has the weather.
The earlier showers will ease as the cloud breaks and temperatures drop away under the clearing skies tonight, down to lows of 1 to 4 Celsius. Away from the east coast, the winds fall light, so we could see a little mist and fog forming. Tuesday then starts dry and bright, turning cloudy later, but staying dry through the day. Cooler than today with highs of 8 to 11 Celsius.
Thanks, Jeff. BBC News.
From BBC Northern Ireland on iPlayer.
This was an abduction. Jennifer's case still had the capability to shock.
Some cases.
The bedroom was a brutal scene.
Stay with you forever.
Have we arrested the wrong person? Our hearts sank.
Achieving justice. The crime I can't forget. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
This is Sports Sound International Football. Listen live on digital, online or on BBC Sounds.
So it's 0-0 here at Windsor Park, half-time in Northern Ireland's last qualifying match for these European Championship finals. 0-0 against Denmark, who have already qualified. As Michael was saying, just 3 goals in 7 matches at half-time across the 3 groups that are being finished off, tied up tonight. 1 goal in Group H, that's this group. Slovenia 1, Kazakhstan 0. So remember, whoever wins that game goes through with Denmark to the finals in Germany next summer. A draw would be enough for Slovenia, so an awful lot of work for Kazakhstan to do. North Macedonia 1-0 up at half-time against England. England have already qualified. It's 0-0 between Ukraine and Italy. They are both on 13 points. If it's a draw, Italy will go through, but Ukraine very much in it. And the only other goal tonight, Czechia 1, Moldova 0. Albania against the Faroe Islands is 0-0, and Albania have already qualified. And again, it's down to the winners of Czechia and Moldova. A draw would be enough for the Czechs. So that's where we are. All of these groups coming to a conclusion. We're getting very close to knowing the first raft of teams who will qualify for the finals. That's before we get into the Nations League and who else might go along, who else might tag along. So 0-0 here at half-time. Jim Magilton and Keith Gillespie have been watching this one alongside me. And, my goodness, but for a lick of paint, Jim, Northern Ireland might have been 1-0 in front.
Yeah, bright start. Exactly the start that would have been looking for and talking about in the changing room. So, he played on the shoulder. It was a flick on, and he got defenders facing their own goal. And that was few and far between in the first half. But, yeah, it was a really good strike, went across the goalkeeper, and he was so unlucky.
We're right in line with it, Keith. We're sort of behind Dion Charles from our view as he hits it, and you're thinking it's going to hit the inside of the post and go in. And such is the luck of this campaign, it doesn't even hit the post and go back out to somebody in a green shirt. But it was, at least it was a positive start.
No, it was a good start. But as Jim says, that's pretty much been it as far as the offensive has been for us. But you know, it's just the luck of this campaign. You know, when we talk about the injuries and the lack of goals, and as you say, you know, when luck's going for you, it does come back off the post and somebody taps it in. But, you know, as Jim said as well, it was a fantastic strike, but you just see the Danes, you know, they're so comfortable in the ball, and you're sort of just thinking the goal's just around the corner.
So, as the flying winger of the group, Keith, what do you make of Durrami tonight?
Yep, didn't know him, to be fair, until I seen him tonight. But I think John said he's been the best player on the pitch, and I agree with that. He looks a threat. They love that diagonal to him. You know, he stands right out in that wing, and I think if you're the Danish manager, you're saying get the ball to him every time now, especially with Trey Hume being on a yellow card.
I mean, you were saying, even Keith, you thought Trey Hume was lucky not to get a yellow card before the one that he did get.
Oh, exactly. You know, it was a pull of the jersey, and you know, you see it every week. You know, that gets a yellow card, you know, every single time. So he was very, very fortunate. And the one where he did get booked was just a really reckless challenge.
How worried are you, Jim, about that area of the pitch? Our right back position, their wide left position?
Yeah, not as worried as Trey Hume would be. Durrami's been exceptional, and he's been very good. They move the ball, and John was right, they haven't moved the ball that quickly, but when they do, and then the switch back to Durrami, he's 1v1, so it'll be interesting to see if Michael doesn't make a change with Trey, given that situation, but certainly he's the most attacking threat they have.
The goalkeeper will be feeling a little bit better about life after Helsinki. He's made 2 or 3 decent saves, hasn't he, in the first half?
Yeah, he has, yeah, and especially the one, I think it's a deflection, the one with his legs. I think he was called in the action very early in terms of his kicking, and it was a little bit erratic, but he settled down. The saves will certainly help his confidence, so hopefully, yeah, that will, it's an area where Conor has really worked very hard on in terms of his kicking, so, yeah, he did very well.
you kind of do feel, though, that they have more to offer. Like, they look as if they're playing in about maybe, first or second gear, Keith? Have they been on the Carlsberg all weekend after qualifying, have they?
Well, you're hoping that, but then...
Probably.
I mean, they did make a lot of changes, but, these players want to come in and impress as well. Players who don't normally get a start, but, just in the final third at times, just nice little intricate play at times. And when the ball gets to Durrami, you don't know where he's going to go, inside or outside, and that's a real problem for Trey. And as I say, you'll just want if you're a Denmark manager, get the ball to Durrami every single time, because he looks the biggest threat on the pitch.
We spoke about it before the game, Jim. You'd be disappointed, would you, if you don't see Conor McMenamin at some stage tonight, given that we didn't see him at all in Helsinki? And he came off the bench the last game we were here together, and he looked the part again, didn't he?
Yeah, he gives you a spark. Every time I've watched Conor play for Northern Ireland, I think he's given you a spark. He's given you something. What he does, he goes by people. He picks the ball up and goes by people, and he can go both ways, and he's not frightened of getting shots away. So it's, what has again been noticeable towards the end of the half is Denmark have quickened the pace up. They have moved the ball quicker. They have found space. This time, if you're playing in that shape, the concentration, that you expend, just moving as the ball moves, and eventually someone doesn't go quick enough and they find that space, and good players and good teams like Denmark will find that, and that's what they found towards the end of the half.
Well, Michael was talking about Denmark winning the European Championship finals way back in 92.
Yeah.
Whenever they actually were in the same qualifying group, Jim, as Northern Ireland, and Yugoslavia topped the group. Yugoslavia were prevented from going. I was going to say there was a 1-1 draw in that campaign in the game that was played here. You were an unused sub, and then you played in the away game, and we lost 2-1. So I was just wondering, is there anything we need to do?
And I think, and by the way, Jimmy Quinn scored an incredible header that night to make it 2-2, and it was disallowed. I think Brian Laudrup scored. I think Michael Laudrup did say after the game, could we swap shirts? And I said, not tonight, Michael. No, please. I promised it to Fleming Pilsen. That was the amazing part of that story, that, sort of off the beach in 92 to win the Euros, and they did it without Michael Laudrup, because he'd fallen out with a coach. Yeah.
And he wasn't even there.
Yeah, they were a magnificent team. They were a magnificent team. I think that was the year. I think we actually were the team that opened the stadium. Yeah.
In Copenhagen.
In Copenhagen, yeah. I think we were.
That's why the goal was disallowed then, is it? There's no way they weren't going to win that game.
Yeah, I remember there wasn't a running track, because I think I covered 19 kilometres without a touch.
That was also the qualifying campaign when we drew here with the Faroes. The 1-1 draw in May.
Please tell me I was an unused sub that night. That was the bubble hat, I remember.
The goalkeeper turned up with a bubble hat.
Bubble hat on, yeah.
Knutson, was not
his
name?
And it was summer.
Yeah, May. It was. Oh, dear. All our yesterdays. Well, it was 1-1 here on that occasion. It's 0-0 at half-time here. Again, Northern Ireland and Denmark. And we were wondering, a couple of the Northern Ireland substitutes were out with their shorts on. They weren't wearing their tracksuit bottoms. We were wondering, was that a sign that they might be coming on, but not at this stage anyway. So it's the 22 that started, and it's the same two for us, John O'Neill and Michael McNamee.
Count your blessings, Joel. It's only 45 minutes left in the campaign. It's Denmark all in white with those red sleeves. Kicking from right to left. Defending the railway end, if it's still called that. And they're all in white, and Northern Ireland are all in green, and it's Hazard and goal, Hume and Lewis, the wing backs, Toole, Brown and Captain McNair at the heart of the defence, Price, Shea Charles and George Saville, with Dale Taylor and Dion Charles up front, and good defensive work on that far side by Jamal Lewis, and that's a goal kick by the man all in black, Conor Hazard. And the Danes got all these Christiansens. It's Schmeichel in goal, Rasmus Christensen, Andreas Christensen, Anderson and Victor Christensen in the back four, Matt O'Reilly, Ullman and Matthias Jensen of Brentford in the midfield, with Jesper Lindstrom on the right, Kasper Dahlberg, who's been a bit ineffective up front, And Mohamed Daramy, the most effective player that we've seen so far. Northern Ireland have played a long ball forward. It's nearly picked up by Isaac Price, but the Danes have it. And there's Matt O'Reilly making his debut, the Celtic man with a Danish mother, born in Hounslow. And fans around us just getting back to their seats, including Marshall Gillespie, statistician extraordinaire. He's climbing up the steps. I think he's fallen over and he dropped something. Must be his wallet. Long ball played forward, trying to get in behind Trey Hume. Hume is one of two Northern Ireland players who have been yellow carded. Saville, the other one. And here is Daramy giving the ball back to Victor Christensen, who's got mop of blonde hair. Christensen continues his run to the byline, gets the ball to the back post, and is somebody being held in the penalty area? The Danes certainly think so. The ball hasn't gone out of play. It's going to fall for Anderson on the far right hand side. Remember, Northern Ireland, having conceded late in the first half in Finland on Friday night, conceded in the 3rd minute of the second half, and at that stage it was game, set and match to the Finns. It's 0-0 here. Sesko with the goal for Slovenia, penalty in the 41st minute. They're 1 up against Kazakhstan, so Slovenia as it stands are going through alongside Denmark. And it was North Macedonia, a late goal from a rebounded penalty. The penalty was saved by Pickford. Apparently a very harsh decision against England's debutant Rico Lewis for the penalty, but North Macedonia are leading England. Of course, England already through, but they're wanting to protect their unbeaten record.
Yeah, they got a bit of criticism after the Malta game as well, I think.
That's right. Only beat them 2-0.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
France beat Gibraltar 14-0, John.
I know.
Apparently there was a hint of offside about the 12th goal. Yes.
Did VAR check it?
VAR checked it, yeah. 7-0 up at half time, another 7 goals for Didier Deschamps' side. And as Joel was pointing out, as that former Glentoran goalkeeper was in Dale Coling was in goal for Gibraltar. Long sweeping ball by Denmark out to that right hand side and behind Lewis.
It's just too much room.
Here's
here.
Matt O'Reilly setting the man up, run inside the penalty area, diving tackle, and eventually a terrific clearance.
Great turn. I think it was Dion Charles was back
there.
It
was Dion Charles doing defensive work, but still
well.
The pressure comes from the Danes on the right hand side. Hulman getting it out, cross in by O'Reilly, and it's volleyed away by Trey Hume. It's all hands to the pump at the minute. Dion Charles can't control it. It might break in the end for Shea Charles, but it's all the way back to the man in yellow, Kasper Schmeichel, the Denmark captain, winning cap 99 this evening.
Good defending by Northern Ireland. No, 3 different defenders getting the ball away, and again, we just can't seem to get to the breakdown. Taylor tried to get on the end of it, just couldn't make it. Charles tried to get on the end of it, and it just wouldn't come from him either.
So remember the options off the bench include Conor McMenamin, Ross McCausland, Washington, Jones, Marshall, Smith, McGuinness.
I agree with the guys at halftime, Mike. I would love to see Conor McMenamin. I just don't understand why he's not been playing.
Victor Christensen gets it out to Mohamed Daramy. TV highlights tonight, BBC 11040 and the iPlayer as well. Daramy slotting the ball through.
Charles has got to be careful. That's 3 times already.
Put out a play by Toll for a corner.
Yeah, Toll read it well, but Charles has just let him run off him again. I mean, this is where I think you need the experience, Michael, because I think the lads at the back are too young to be actually giving Shea Charles a rollicking, because that's 3 times it's happened now.
Yet another corner for the Danes, this one on their left hand side. Daramy once more has provided the option for the short corner, but 2 Northern Ireland defenders are close by, including Dale Taylor. And here it's going to come in from Jensen from the left hand side to the back post. Everybody's up jumping. The header in towards the 6-yard box. And a spectacular clearance in the end from Shea Charles. Relieves the siege somewhat.
Yeah, they've done well when it comes to the corners.
That's a wayward ball. It's been picked up by Isaac Price on the right hand side. Price's second, third touch wasn't great.
Yeah, he was looking.
And Jensen's put it out for throw-in.
Yeah, he was looking in field to see where Taylor and Charles was, and he took his eye off the ball slightly, and that allowed Jensen to close him down and knock it out for a throw-in.
Still San Marino 0, Finland 0 in Serra Valley. Finns off the back of thrashing Northern Ireland on
I would just
Friday night.
I would just throw this down the line to Price. Let him take it up against Christensen and try and get us up the field there.
Hume with the throw in Northern Ireland right.
Done.
Back with Hume, helps it to Price. Price just
to hold on to it. He needs to hold on to it there.
Toll's holding his man, and it's all the way back to Captain McNair.
Well done.
Helps it to goalkeeper Hazard. David Healy, record goal scorers, chatting with the lads. Long clearance upfield by Hazard. Backpedaling is Victor Christensen. up against the other number 14, Isaac Price. And
Price has done well.
Sliced it out of play for the Northern Ireland throw-in.
Yeah, he's closed him down very quickly, and it's one of those ones he could very easily have just charged into the back of Price and took the pressure off him. He goes down and get a free kick, but he just held him up, and eventually he was forced to knock it out for a throw-in. And Brown's coming over to take this now, and then again, if he can get it into the in close to the 6-yard box, I think they'll panic again and struggle to get this clear.
6 minutes gone in the second half. Kieran Brown drying the ball in his jersey. Northern Ireland all in green. Kieran Brown's number is 22, and he's going to launch this from the right-hand side, looking for the ball to break for Saville, who shoots and it's blocked. Comes out to Jamal Lewis, has been urged to shoot, gets it to Dion Charles. Back in. Toll with a header just wide. Owen Toll was about 7 inches away from opening his international account from a nice cross from a Jamal Lewis on the left-hand side.
That was a great piece of play. The throw in, and then eventually it comes out to the edge of the box. Lewis, puts in a great cross. Toll gets on the end of it. I think the defender's just done enough that he can't get quite the full header on it, but it's just squeezed past that left-hand post. So again, another great opportunity. He may be a little bit disappointed he didn't actually get it on the goal, but a good move, good play again by Jamal Lewis on the left-hand side. They're Durrami again. He's brilliant.
It's like the ball on a piece of string.
Yeah, you can't get it off him.
Kazakhstan have equalised 1-1.
Oh,
it's back in the mix.
Yeah, it is. You're going to be nervous coming to the end of that game.
Not quite, in the words of the Lip Bram, we're up for grabs now, but Kazakhstan have given themselves a chance. Remember, they have to win. Here come the Danes on the left. Durrami. Craig Hummel see him in his sleep tonight.
Yeah, we'll always give him one short there.
Jensen just takes it away from Price. Danes still have possession. They're helping it out to that right-hand side. They're changing the angle of the attack. 7.5 minutes gone. 0-0 here. Ball's out of play. Denmark throw in.
Lewis is doing well over on that left-hand side, Michael. I think this is probably one of the best games I've seen him have from a defensive point of view.
Yep. Ball's on the halfway line. So a chilly, blustery November evening in Belfast, South Belfast, but no rain. Makes a pleasant change the autumn we've had.
It is, yeah. Considering it's been sort of off and on all day, but it stayed dry for tonight. And it's decent conditions.
Remember, it doesn't matter for the Danes what they do.
No.
They're going to be a pot 2 team in the draw for the finals next year.
Yeah.
So they're having a look at some of the fringe players. They made 7 changes on the team that started in Copenhagen on Friday night against Slovenia. Victor Christensen retained his place, and Northern Ireland nearly get the ball back.
Yeah, that about sums it up again. I mean, he's been closed down by Price and Dion Charles, and he still managed to get it out.
Our friends, the Finns, have finally broken broken San Marino down.
Yeah, about time.
Soari with a goal, 1-0 for the Finns. Back with McNair, helps it as goalkeeper Conor Hazard, who's all in black.
It's a better clearance.
Clears over the halfway line, a chase on for Isaac Price, but helped by Victor Christensen to Kasper Schmeichel. We've got a couple of Euro sort of warm-up games in March, I think the Danish journalist was saying. So they very much feel that tonight's, well, there's a Dane down on the far side. I'm assuming it's Mathias Jensen.
Is it Lundstrom?
Oh no, it is Lundstrom.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, Michael. Didn't see it. I don't know whether he's just gone over on his ankle, but
he's clutching his left foot, his left ankle. You're right, John. Treatment coming on, but they're going to make a change, and it's going to be Yusuf Poulsen. Who got that winning goal in San Marino. He won a 75th cap. He's got 12 goals so far already. Very experienced RB Leipzig attacker. And Jeremy O'Carroll and Michael O'Neill just making points to Messer Saville.
Yeah, they've all come
Dion
over.
Charles and Price. Well, they've all come across now for a bit of water.
Yeah, for a bit of water
and a chat.
Yeah.
Didn't have water breaks in your day, John?
I think I've told the story before, Michael. The only water break we ever had
when it was really, really hot, properly hot.
We were in Mexico.
86.
And they filled plastic bags full of water and threw them onto the pitch. And you had to bite into them.
You wouldn't be allowed to do that.
I know you wouldn't be allowed.
Single-use plastic, John.
I know, but that's what they used to do. And I remember, I think it was Ian Stewart come on as a sub, and he was given about 6 plastic bags full of water in each hand. When there was a free kick or something, and there was a substitution, and by the time he come on, the game had started, and he didn't have the time to pass them out. So for about a minute or so, he was running around with 6 packs, and it was amazing because you didn't have you just never thought to just throw them down and get rid of them.
So Poulsen is on. Lindstrom has limped off. So Yusuf Poulsen's gone out to that straight right hand side swap with Lindstrom, and the Danes have it with Rasmus Christensen, and here comes the substitute Poulsen. Out of play, side-footed out of play by Kieran Brown. So
yeah, it's good defending.
Denmark throw-in, quickly taken. Matt O'Reilly has it. It was back to goal, right-hand side. Tries to get the cross in. It's off Saville and out for another Denmark corner.
Yeah, Saville did well. I mean, he was alive to the quick throw-in. Brown defended it very well, and before he can recover, they've had it into the box again.
Played short into the penalty area. Durrami gets it out and side-footed back into there. It's bouncing all over the place. Half cleared by Trey Hume. It's out in this near side. It's been picked up now by Shea Charles. He tries to slot it through for Dale Taylor.
Trying to do, yeah,
Schmeichel's out of his area and side foots it away.
Yeah, he was under serious pressure just down in front of us on the halfway line, and he tries to curl it in around the defender, between the defender and the goalkeeper. He just put too much on it.
0-0 here after 12 minutes of the second half. We've got an acting superstar behind us as well. John James Martin is at the match, chatting away to the boys and to David Healy as well. Ball's in the hands of Conor Hazard, the Northern Ireland goalkeeper, and we're still waiting for any signs of movement on the Northern Ireland bench after 12 and a half minutes.
There. I mean, Michael O'Neill must be happy the way things are going. And
that's a huge clearance that bounces
three times, 2 or 3 times,
and into the hands of Schmeichel.
Yeah.
Danes inside their own half. There's James, got a quick handshake with the superstar. Jensen inside the centre circle. Yulman out to that right hand side. Remember, it's still 1-1 Slovenia, Kazakhstan. England still 1 down in their group in a meaningless game. There's a run made forward by Victor Christensen, but it wasn't picked up. Instead it's out to Mohamed Daramy, who's been closely marshalled by Isaac Price. Remember, Hume and Saville are on yellow cards in this match. Still the Danes patiently through Matt O'Reilly, far corner of the penalty area, out to that right hand side. 4 white jerseys inside the penalty area waiting for a cross. Here's Matt O'Reilly. Dale Taylor's back doing defensive duties.
Yeah, we've got to get closer.
21 players inside the Northern Ireland half, just hacked away anywhere by Kieran Brown. He was given not a great pass back.
It wasn't by Saville,
and he couldn't do a lot with it, but just hoof it clear. So this second half is sort of beginning in the style of the way the first ended.
Yeah, Danes have got all the possession. They just keep probing from one side to the other, and they're not being overly direct. They're not playing at that great a pace. It's given us a chance to get back and defend.
Here's O'Reilly seeing more of the ball in the second half. That's a terrible attempted pass, easily cut out by Lewis, who gets the ball back from Saville. Lewis has done well. He's done well, brilliantly. He's beaten the substitute. He's crossed the halfway line, Jamal Lewis. Ball infield to Dion Charles. This is good for Northern Ireland. Got support from Shea Charles. Being urged to shoot. Offloads it to Isaac Price, who shoots, and he scores! Isaac Price with his second goal for Northern Ireland. Brilliant build-up play. What a super goal. He tucks it in and beats Schmeichel at his near post. And with half an hour left to play at Windsor Park, it's come alight. It's Northern Ireland 1, Denmark 0.
Yeah, brilliant goal. I mean, we've been under pressures for so long. We break from the 18-yard box, take it straight up the field. The ball comes to Shea Charles. He's right in front of the goal, and you're thinking, go on, you've got to have a shot here. But he passes it to the right. Price comes on and buries it. Jamal Lewis and Saville set it up as from early on. Lewis in particular did tremendously well over on that left-hand side. And then Dion Charles feeds it into Shea Charles, and Price hits it. I mean, at the end of the day, Schmeichel's dropped a clanger there, but we don't care. It's he's been beaten on his near post, and he'll be disappointed. But great finish from Price. He's hit the target, and the keeper made the mistake.
Northern Ireland leading, John, and it's not San Marino.
It was a great goal.
That was a terrific goal.
That's a great goal.
Brilliant goal. They've made a double change. Duramy's gone off. Vestergaard of Leicester's on. Somebody else came on as well.
Delaney's come on, Michael.
Delaney's come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure he went off, though. Too busy watching the replay, couldn't care less.
Goodness me. It would be just like Northern Ireland to beat the group winners, wouldn't it?
Incredible, isn't it? But they deserved a little bit of luck.
Best move of the game.
Yep.
On either side.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Jamal Lewis was brilliant out there. Him and Saville, basically left 3 white shirts for dead. Dion Charles links up, gets the ball to Shea Charles. The final pass was good. Oh, I'm crying for him to shoot, but what do I know? And as I say, the goalkeeper will be disappointed, but at last we've had a little bit of luck.
On as well. I think it's a triple change. Durrami's off. Vestergaard's in. We're too getting excited about a goal. Jensen's gone off.
I know Jensen's gone off.
Durrami's gone off. Delaney's in. Højbjerg's in.
I'm not sure who the other one was. Maybe I didn't see it.
Right, what have the Danes got? Rasmus Christensen. They're doing the bounces. The old days back. Here come the Danes looking for an equaliser immediately. They've got to the byline, cross in, and good defensive header. Brilliant header by Paddy McNair.
Yeah, he read the danger.
At the expense of a corner.
Yeah, Saville's gone down there, and I thought, oh my, he needs to be careful here. But thankfully, he didn't touch him, and the cross has come in, and McNair's dealt with it very well. This is incredible.
You'd have to be pretty hard-hearted not to be smiling at the minute if you're from Northern Ireland.
The fans deserve it, Michael, to be fair. But to be honest, I could not see this happening. Not after the performance on Friday night.
That goal came in the 60th minute. Danes have a corner on the right-hand side. They're trying to spoil the party here. They get it to the back post. The header by Anderson is high, wide, and not very handsome.
Yeah, but again, Price has done well at the back post. He hasn't given them a free header. He made it difficult for him, and he can't get control of the header. It's gone for a goal kick.
Can we have another go at this group again? Can we start from now and have another go, please?
I mean, like, Northern Ireland been doing that down through the years, getting the result when you least expect it.
I know we're getting a bit giddy. I know it's a dead rubber. I know the Danes are already through, but...
Yeah, but when you look at the experience...
After all that we've been through...
Well, Michael, when you look at the experience of the side that, that they have, where they're playing in terms of their teams that they're playing, and, the competitiveness of the competitions that they're playing in, and a lot of our lads are, really just finding their feet.
Including Isaac Price, the goal scorer.
Yeah.
There's a challenge on Højbjerg, and the referee's not happy. Isaac Price, the goal scorer, getting a talking to. And suddenly the Danes have realised they're in an international football match. And they don't want to go down to only their second defeat in the group. Long sweeping ball forward to that far side. The header's been won. Opportunity in the edge of the area. Is that handball? Though fans behind the goal certainly think so. Dale Taylor's been thrown to the floor, and that'll be a free kick. And suddenly this is like the top of the table clash here.
Taylor's done very well there to hold it up, and he's invited the challenge. And Højbjerg, just come into the back of him, give him a free kick, and takes all the pressure off us. And again, Michael, they're doing it well. They're pushing up. Hazard's going to hit this long again into their back four and see how they can deal with it. We'll play and take off, the pieces that we get up there.
Finns have got a second goal in San Marino. They're 2-0 up. Free kick to be taken by Conor Hazard. We're 20 minutes into this game. Northern Ireland leading through Isaac Price's wonderful goal to 0. It's on the edge of the Danish penalty area. The Danes have it. They poke it forward, still inside their own half. One back by Lewis to Kieran Brown. Chips it nicely. Controlled well by Dale Taylor, but just taken off his toe.
Yeah, look,
and Taylor's won it back. Taylor's gone down trying to win a throw in, and he does so.
Michael, how long have we been saying this is what we have to do? We've got to get the ball into the opposition's half and play in the final third. And we're causing them all sorts of problems.
Everyone's on their feet.
Yeah, I mean, going forward, they're a good team. When they try to defend, they're hopeless.
I'm glad we got that effects mic sorted out at half-time. Finns have got a third goal. They're 3 up in San Marino. Still 1-1 Slovenia, Kazakhstan. Winners go through to the finals. Denmark through already. Long throw by Northern Ireland, looking for a second goal here. The National Stadium at Windsor Park has been headed away by the Danes. It's back out to that left-hand side. It's a corner. And everything's just falling Northern Ireland's way. That challenge by Rasmus Christensen on Price.
Yeah, again, Michael, just a little bit of pressure and they panic and they give away a corner. We need a good delivery in here. Our corners, to be quite honest, have been rubbish right the whole way through this campaign. So maybe tonight's the night we'll get the delivery we need.
I feel a George Saville goal about to appear out of the ether. Isaac Price with the corner on the left-hand side. Saville made himself the option for the short one. That's not a great corner.
That's rubbish.
Easily headed away as far as George Saville has been urged to shoot. Back in by Price, diving header away. It's going to break and the shot in.
Jeremy, a great block by
from
Christensen, I think it was.
It was Dale Taylor with a block shot. Or it was Dale Charles with a block shot. Still the attack on. Header on by Toll, sliced up into the night sky by Anderson.
Now, how many times have they done that, Michael? Just sliced it straight up into the air.
Isaac Price jumping all over the place, not getting anywhere near the ball. It's out with Saville on the halfway line.
Well played.
And he pokes it through. This is Price, the goal scorer. There's nobody out in this right-hand side at all until Trey Hume appears. The Northern Ireland fans are applauding every successful pass. Chested down by Dion Charles, shown too much of that as a substitute. Might break for Charles, though. Charles has done well. And has he won the free kick? No, he hasn't. This is astonishing stuff.
That's the only thing about Dion Charles. Sometimes his first touch isn't the best.
The Finns must have had that goal wiped off by VAR. They're back down to 2-0. 1-0 here to Northern Ireland. No doubt at all about the goal. Absolute classic. Watch it tonight, 10:40, BBC One Northern Ireland. Whether it turns out to be a winning goal, we've yet to see. We're into the last quarter of this match. Long ball forward by the Danes, looking for Dahlberg. It's out of play for a Danish throw-in right by the corner flag that Denmark right.
McNair just couldn't get his foot around it to try and clear it up the park. England actually got it out for a throw-in, I think, Michael.
Well, it went that side. England have equalised through an own goal. Half an hour to go in North Macedonia.
The assistant referee's trying to get the flag on the pole. There'll be about 3 minutes injury time, extra time for this.
I could make a joke about this, but I won't, John. He's got it on now.
You could.
Magilton's
he got it anyway, didn't he?
Let's not dwell. Throw in to the Danes. You guys. Right hand side, couple of yards from that corner flag, and it's back out. O'Neill's having a moment, is he? I think he is. Here come the Danes with a low cross to the edge of the area. It's been let go to Christensen. Victor Christensen squares it in a volley 8 yards wide in the end from Højbjerg of Tottenham.
Yeah, I think Christensen should have put the ball into the box first time. He takes a touch and brings it back to the edge of the box, and
a wild and vicious volley
nearly hit the corner flag.
Quite work out who was trying. Yeah, I think he was trying to hit it the outside of his boot. He caught it in the shin. Still 1-0. We're having fun here. Remember fun. Remember fun. Still 1-1 Slovenia, Kazakhstan. Finland had that third goal wiped out. 1-1 North Macedonia and England.
Good header by Brian. Good defensive header. It's a foul.
Oh goodness me! All the songs are coming out. That's a long ball forward, looking for Dion Charles to try and get in the end of. Højbjerg rolls it back to goalkeeper Schmeichel, and they're trying to play their way out of danger. Højbjerg in the edge of his penalty area.
They've done well there actually, because Northern Ireland were squeezing them into their 18-yard box, and that little bit of confidence on the ball gets them clear
inside the centre circle. I think it must have been Matt O'Reilly came off as well,
I think that's the one we were looking for, Michael. I don't see him there.
We've got about 60 minutes on his senior debut for the home nation of his mother. Long raking pass, trying to get in behind Hume. Opportunity now for Victor Christensen. Keeps the ball in by the byline. Can he get the cross in? Chips it up, and that's straight into the hands of Hazard, who clatters into Paddy McNair and feels his thigh with a grimace.
Yeah, I can, Michael. For me, Christensen should put the ball in first time. As soon as he takes a touch and slows the game down, allows us as a defence to get back, and it wasn't a great cross, and Hazard dealt with it quite easily.
20 minutes left. Northern Ireland leading the Danes.
Again, Michael, Hazard just needs to wait his time, get us up to the halfway line, and then put it in the last third.
You see Jimmy Nicholl on the monitor screen having a chat with Michael O'Neill.
Again, off his kick, we're in the go at them.
Shea Charles has been brought down. That's a free kick inside the Danish half. Morton Ullman making a point that was a foul.
It was a foul, but
his knees bleeding.
To be honest, I think it was the skill of actually Shea Charles. He does that turn on the ball, and he brings the foul out of him. It was definitely a foul.
So suddenly, one goal's brought all this optimism, brought all this atmosphere, the singing.
Makes a difference, Michael.
And the sense that we might be able to do something from this free kick is played short to George Saville, middle of the park, out to this right-hand side. Isaac Price, the goal scorer, and that's into the hands of Schmeichel.
Again, it's poor. I mean, it wasn't a bad idea. They've moved the ball instead of just hitting it in first time, and it's got the defenders moving. And unfortunately, the ball from Price is just too near Schmeichel. It was easy for him.
A number of times Victor Christensen's made that run that just hasn't been picked up. He's about to dash like a sprinter.
They've got to be careful here, because Trey Hume's getting two men out here sometimes, and that's the one they're looking for. They're looking for Christensen down this left-hand side.
18 minutes left. Northern Ireland 1, Denmark 0. Sounds nice, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Here come the Danes looking for an equaliser on the right-hand side. They've made that triple substitution in the second half. They're going to the Euros in Germany next summer. Northern Ireland aren't, but a little bit of positivity ahead of that Nations League draw. We love a Nations League draw, don't we? In Paris in February.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
I was just looking to see when the game started. I think it's the first week of September.
Might be the odd friendly before then.
Yeah.
For countries that are going to the Euros, we might be a good sort of stand-in for Scotland. There's a little flick in the edge of the area, but Shea Charles has done well.
Great vision.
Now here's Price. He's got about 4 defenders chasing after him. Price is slotting it past the man who hasn't brought him down. I think
he
fell over.
I think he's fell over his own feet there.
He got past Vestergaard, who's a big unit, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Leicester City man, winning his 37th cap. And they're going to make another change. Jonas Vind, the man who got the winning goal in Copenhagen back in the summer. And Vind is replacing Morten Ullman, who's been a bit disappointing, you have to say.
He has, yeah. I thought he started off not too bad, and I expected better things from him, but he just never got into the game at all.
And for Sporting Lisbon, winning his 3rd cap, so he hasn't really grasped his opportunity. More water being taken on board by the men in green. And Jimmy Nichols out in the edge of the technical area. Michael O'Neill as well. Gives a pat in the back to Dion Charles, who's really worked hard.
This has been the best game I've seen him play.
And was very unlucky with that.
He was unlucky not to score, but his shot. He's been putting their back four under all sorts of pressure, and maybe not getting on the end of it, but certainly making it very difficult for them to clear.
Isaac Price has been in the wars.
Just showing you the goal again here. I think the fact that he's hit it as the balls come from Shea Charles, I think the fact that Price hit it first time, it didn't give Schmeichel any time to set himself. And
won't be part of the Casper and Schmeichel family video collection now.
No, I don't think it will. Certainly be part of the Price one, though.
Brilliant. And he is fit to continue. So we're back to 22 players in the park. So there'll be maybe a couple of minutes added towards the end. And Northern Ireland leading Denmark by a 1-0. Brilliantly worked, superbly taken, Isaac Price.
And despite how much they've had possession and how much. That's a handball.
There's a handball there.
It was unlucky, but it's definitely
Kieran
a handball.
Brown flicked up far side the Danish right, so this is a real moment of danger.
Yeah, I was just
for the
about
home
to say
side,
there, Michael, that they've worked really hard considering the amount of possession that Denmark have had, but they don't seem to be flagging any at the minute anyway.
15 minutes left. Free kick, Danish right-hand side.
Now this is where they have to use their experience, and try and make sure they don't lose concentration.
Poulsen's up, Vestergaard's up, Vind is up.
Brown and Jamal Lewis in there, and McNair have got to make sure that they're tight.
Here it comes to the back post. Not a goal words. Was there a hand up? I think that was a white shirted hand, maybe flicked it. Was been cleared by the Northern Ireland defence. And that's a good challenge by Dion Charles. That should be a Northern Ireland throw in. Michael O'Neill can't believe it. He believes that Andres Christensen got the last touch. That's a foul on Vestergaard by Dion Charles.
You need to be careful, Charles. I mean, he's trying his hardest there, but there's a few times he's been slightly late.
And he's getting tired.
Yeah.
He's getting weary. And he's giving away a free kick, almost a mirror image from the one a minute ago, but this one on the Danish left.
They try and get somebody free around the back, Michael, to head it back in across the penalty box, so they've got to be aware of that.
14 minutes to go. Here comes the free kick. Højbjerg with it, curling it in, doesn't beat George Saville, who heads it away, volleyed away into the night sky by Dale Taylor, but headed back by the Danes. Strong header away by Paddy McNair, flicked on brilliantly by Shea Charles. Dale Taylor, he's up against 2 or 3 defenders, stabbed forward by Shea Charles, who takes a tumble.
Yeah, there could have been a free kick there, but left
play on, says the referee. Long ball forward looking for Poulsen. Header won by Owen Toll. It's really opening up this game. Toll slices it up into the night sky.
The game's been stretched now, isn't it?
Still 1-1 Slovenia, Kazakhstan. Finland still 2-0 up in San Marino. Victor Christensen on the left-hand touchline. Slightly more weary sounding cries of green and white army. It's getting slightly nervous. They don't want this potential 3 points spoiled by the Danes. Flicked header at the back and away.
Yeah, well done.
Off the head of Kieran Brown for a corner.
Brown's done well. He's done well in there. There's a decent cross by Christensen, and once it takes the flick on, it could go on anywhere, but Brown's kept his eye on the ball and's got it out for a corner. Now this is their little patch now, Michael. We've got to see this off.
Victor Christensen with the corner, left-hand side. They've got about 10 corners in the match so far, the Danes. It's an outswinger, flicked on, chance for the Danes. It's been blocked and stabbed and eventually lobbed away by Owen Toll.
Brilliant play by McNair. Twice, he stepped in front of Poulsen.
Double change coming up. We're going to see Conor McMenamin on. We're going to see Paul Smith on. Price is going off, the goal scorer.
Oh, Smith and McMenamin coming on, Michael. If we get the ball to those, they'll certainly stretch the Danish defence.
And replacing number 13, Dale Taylor.
And Taylor coming off as well. So McMenamin on the bench for the last 3. Gets his chance in the last 12 minutes. And Paul Smith fit again after missing the game in Helsinki. Got his goal against San Marino. Coming on for his 8th cap, McMenamin winning cap number 11. He scored in this campaign as well. And the Danes make a complete mess of that. Victor Christensen took his eye off the ball, and it's out of play for Northern Ireland. Throw-in.
Pressure from Shea Charles forced him to take his eye off the ball, and now we've got the free kick here. Again, I hope that Hume just plays this up the line.
And both Taylor and Price can be very satisfied with their work this evening, John. That's a bit of a push in the back of
he's got to be
Smith.
stronger. Smith has got to be stronger there. He's looking for it, and the referee knows he's looking for it.
Dane's got possession back. Vestergaard has been hunted down by Dion Charles.
He's done very well.
He's done brilliantly to keep that ball alive to Victor Christensen. Højbjerg with a sweeping ball out to that right-hand side. He's overstruck that. That'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, it's too much. I have to say that again. Lewis is in the right place. If it's tries to get it any closer, Lewis is going to take that, intercept that, and he's had to try and stretch it right out.
Where has this performance come from, John?
Michael, I've been saying this right from 2 or 3 games into this competition. We have got to learn to play in their half of the pitch, and we've done that from day one. And to me, it's not rocket science.
Clearance by Conor Hazard to this near right-hand side, but helped forward, and Owen Toll heads it away. It's all do the bouncy. Shea Charles wins the header. It's frantic stuff at the minute. It's like the last 15 minutes of a cup final. Paul Smith, he's got a couple of defenders with him. He's nutmegged Højbjerg. Højbjerg's been forced back. The route back to Schmeichel isn't really there. Højbjerg's done has he brought Smith down? Smith's gone down, clutching his nose.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones where he's fobbed him off with his arm, but I don't think there was much in it.
Højbjerg did well.
The game's getting stretched a little bit. We've got to make sure we don't get caught on the counter-attack.
10 minutes left. Northern Ireland leading the Danes by a goal to 0. Scored by Isaac Price in the 60th minute. Look out for it in the highlights and the iPlayer on 10:40 BBC One Northern Ireland this evening. Here's one of the substitutes, Thomas Delaney, got the winning goal against Slovenia on Friday night. Delaney wearing 8 on the left-hand side. That's not a great pass by Vestergaard. It's
we've got to push up.
McMenamin's trying to pick up the pieces on the halfway line, but the Danes have it still.
Yeah, we've got to try and squeeze them up when we get a breakaway like that. Try and squeeze them up as much as we can.
Since the goal, the Danes have suddenly realised they're in a contest, and that Northern Ireland, well, they nearly won the ball back there. Vestergaard, 15 yards inside the Northern Ireland half. Everybody's back behind the ball for Northern Ireland. Toll finds Paul Smith. Hume, that's a good ball infield to Saville now. Conor McMenamin's been sent chasing down that left-hand side. McMenamin. Dion Charles is racing to get into the penalty area. McMenamin's trying to get round the back. Must be Dion Charles! Oh, that's brilliant! Brilliant by McMenamin! And Dion Charles at the back post. That's what the fans have come to see. It's 2-0 and the Danes surely have been beaten at Windsor Park. That's brilliant.
That is one of the best goals I've ever seen at Windsor Park. Absolutely brilliant. Dear me, what a finish. And to be fair, Michael, he's deserved it. He nearly got it in the first half, and when that came across the ball from across the box from McMenamin, there was no way he was going to miss it. But the way it was worked, you know, from this side, a great ball by Saville, I think it was, across to the 18-yard box. McMenamin gets it under control. This is a great ball, great touch, and he doesn't even have to look. He knows he's there, sets it up, crosses the ball, charges at the back post, buries it. What a goal.
What a goal.
And again, I don't know why McMenamin hasn't been on before now.
Well, talk about an impact sub. Thompson's coming on for Saville. Two great goals, John.
Oh, two cracking goals.
Jordan Thompson.
What a goal.
We've saved all the joy and the smiles and the laughter for this last game. Dion Charles, those 2 goals in San Marino, hit the post earlier on. What a celebration. That's brilliant.
Yeah. And I think, you know, Michael said it in his press conference, you know, they wanted a performance, you know, to finish the campaign in a high note. Well, thank God.
My goodness,
he's got it. He has certainly got it. And thoroughly deserved, Michael. I mean, they've obviously been under the cosh in terms of possession, but they've defended well and
Long
took their
ball
chances.
Forward opportunity now, and that's an important interception by Trey Hume. Took the ball off the toe of Delaney to the back post, and it's out of play. Goal kick.
Excellent. I mean, they've done well all over the park. You know, the first half on our right-hand side, Hume and Charles got themselves, you know, ball watching a little bit, and Darami, you know, was causing us problems. But in this second half, they've defended well, and every opportunity they had to break, they've taken it. I'll ask you, Michael, how many times have we tried to play this out from the back tonight?
Not very often, John.
I don't think we've tried it. I think we tried it once, and they closed this down, and everybody went up the park. And I don't see anything wrong in playing football like this. I really don't.
I'll tell you what, that's not just a brilliant piece of pace from McMenamin, and he waited for the perfect ball.
Absolutely.
But it's sort of saying to the manager, well, why have I not been up? You know, why have I been sat on the bench?
Everybody, you know, me, you, Joel, and all, you know, the lads have been along with this, have been asking the question.
33 players used in 10 qualifying matches. That's an astonishing stat. 2-0 to Northern Ireland. 6.5 minutes of normal time left.
And the way we've been playing, Michael, as I've said before, it allows the crowd to come into the game, because when we put their back four under pressure, they start hoofing it up in the air and slicing it left, right and centre. You know, the crowd get going.
Those red and white guys in the far corner a bit quiet. Victor Christensen swinging the ball in, diving header away, but McNair had been fouled, and that'll be a free kick. And Northern Ireland just take a few seconds over this one.
Yeah, Dahlberg's thrown straight into the back to Paddy McNair. He hasn't had a kick all night.
I think the Danes are making the point that they're going to Germany, and the Green and White Army are not. But still,
it doesn't matter. You play what's in front of you, Michael, and you take it.
So Dion Charles getting his third international goal this evening, and Isaac Price got his second. All of those goals scored in this European qualifying campaign. Long clearance upfield.
Again, he can't defend. They don't know how to defend. They're all over the place.
Vestergaard.
Look at this.
Helping it out to the far side. Just calm down, John. It's not quite made up for, but it's nice to finish, fingers crossed, on a high. 5 minutes left of normal time. 2-0.
Well,
Delaney.
To me, Michael, it's asked and answered a lot of questions.
Victor Christensen's poor ball cut out by Shea Charles. Dion Charles is getting all giddy and nearly lost it, and he's taken a knock in the challenge as well.
Needs to be careful there. He's lost the ball, and he's actually gone into that challenge to clear the ball, and he's hurt himself.
I think
he's hurt himself badly. Yeah. He's just overstretched that one.
And I think that might be the end of the game for Dion Charles.
I think he's done it himself there, Michael. He lost control of the ball, which, I've said earlier, his first touch sometimes lets him down, and he's overstretched there to try and clear that.
It had been 3 wins in the last 16 for Northern Ireland.
Looks like Washington will be coming on for him, Michael.
Yeah, Conor Washington's stripped off and ready to come on for camp number 43. And he'll have just over 4 minutes in which to add his international tally of 6 goals. We're seeing the goal replay from a different angle.
Brilliant ball by McMenamin. He's put it on a plate for him.
And a finish into the middle of the net. Warm applause for Dion Charles. Was a candidate for man of the match, you would have to say.
He's been absolutely brilliant. But it's really been a team effort.
Washington's on,
but he's been outstanding.
Now Michael O'Neill will want this clean sheet. It's a long ball, and that's out of play, and that'll be a goal kick. They keep trying that long ball to Victor Christensen.
Yeah, and I think Coombs got wise to it now, and he's ready. He's almost set off before it's been struck, and he was able to shepherd that one out for a goal kick.
Just seeing a smiling Dion Charles, broad smile under those curls.
Yeah, we've waited for this for a long time, Michael. We sat in the stand in Finland on Friday night, totally dejected and thinking the long journey home, and the possibility of coming here and maybe the same thing happening again, but they totally changed it. They decided they're going to play long and play in the final third, and I think it's exposed them at the back.
The songbook's out again, and they're all on their feet. Great for the younger players as well. You don't want them to associate playing international football with miserable defeats.
This is giving them a taste of what it can be like. But again, they have to apply themselves, and a great night for learning for them.
2 minutes left, plus stoppage time.
I think McNair and Brown in the back have done exceptionally well. Toll there as well. And I said earlier, I think Jamal Lewis is probably at his best game for Northern Ireland.
Victor Christensen trying to get round Trey Hume.
Good
and
block.
Hume does well, gets the block in.
It's come off and he's got a goal.
Takes a touch off the Dane. And it's out for the goal kick. Well, if anything is going to tell you that it's not Denmark's night, it's that little passage of play off the chest of Victor Christensen.
Yeah, and we've got Poulsen running around to get the ball for Conor Hazard.
Slovenia are hanging on 1-1. That is enough for them at the minute. They have 5 minutes left to play. Finn's still 2 up.
It's going to be a nervous 5
San
minutes.
Marino. Remember, Kazakhstan, if they can score in the last 5 minutes, they are heading to the Euros. As it is, Slovenia are joining Denmark out of Group H. And the Finns, as we mentioned on Friday night, still have a Nations League playoff. The back door is still open, possibly for them.
Brown again winning it over Poulsen. Good header.
Ball's inside the Denmark half. Spread out to Victor Christensen, who's probably seen as much of the ball in the second half as any Danish player. Vestergaard. Across the park. They only cross the halfway line now. And the long ball forward, trying to get in again behind Trey Hume to Victor. Gets the ball in field. Vestergaard. His pass out to Andreas Christensen. It's out on the right hand side. An appalling piece of control by Rasmus Christensen, and they've lost their nerve entirely.
They've totally lost it.
How to play Northern Ireland throw in.
I would love to see them hold on now and keep a clean sheet, Michael. That would work wonders for them as well. We were surprised, over the last few games when Brown hasn't been playing, and I don't understand that either, Michael, because to me he's had a tremendous match again tonight. When he first came in and he started off, I thought he was a little bit shaky, but I thought he got to grips with the game, and I thought he'd been playing well. Now, as I say, I was surprised when he was left out the last few games.
As Højbjerg carded for something he said to the referee. Oh, 6 minutes.
Tell you what,
anything could happen now. Here come the Danes on the right hand side. So we're not all speaking too early. They've got a corner on the right.
Yeah, they've just got to keep their nerve and keep doing what they have been doing.
Slovenia 2-1 up. Danish corner, right hand side, high to the back post, nodded in by Delaney, nodded away by Shea Charles. Back in towards the penalty area, out by Trey Hume, and Paul Smith's trying to get in the end of it, but he can't beat Rasmus Christensen. Again, that raking ball to Vestergaard in this near side, headed away to Victor Christensen. 3 in the penalty area in white jerseys. Hazard thought about coming, and a shot comes in and tipped over the top. Brilliant save.
I'm delighted for Conor Hazard. That's a great save. It was the ball was just knocked into the box. It didn't matter whether it was the centre half or the centre forward was going to knock it down, and it's just broke on the edge of the box. It was a snapshot, and thankfully Hazard in the right place and was able to get it over the bar.
Snapshot from 8 yards out from Dahlberg.
He did well.
Denied Dahlberg, but it's a corner. Victor Christensen with a corner from the left-hand side. Northern Ireland leading 2-0. Headed away. There's a Northern Ireland player down inside the penalty area, and that'll be another yellow card for a Dane.
Yeah, again, it's a great header. I think is it Hume that's gone down, or is it Toll? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's Hume's got the header away, and then he's been charged in the back. And I think
that's Dahlberg who got the yellow card. Just waiting for confirmation.
No, it might be Anderson.
Could well be a Christensen.
Yeah, it might have been. I can't. I'm just waiting for replay. I can't see it there, Michael.
Yeah. There certainly wasn't another yellow card shown. We've played 2 of the additional 6 minutes. Northern Ireland leading by 2-0. Ball's inside the Danish half, well controlled, pulling out of the night sky by Smith. He's got past one. He's getting to the byline. The little fella's brought a defender with him. He got to the byline. He's overrun outside of play.
Yeah, he's trying to just get it under control and keep it in the corner there. They just run out over the touchline.
Suddenly we've substitutes coming on, wanting to make an impact, wanting to catch the eye. Such a different game to Friday night.
Oh, totally different.
The Danes have it. I think they realise the game's up, but they're still looking for a goal back, looking to play it up towards Vint, off his forehead. Shots maybe going to come in. It's scrambling. Vint at the near post has been blocked and cleared away by McNair.
Yeah, brilliant defending. The original block was by Trey Hume, and it's broke to McNair, and he's been able to make the clearance.
There's a and the attempted cross by Victor Christensen flies off the back of Jonas Vint and out of play for a goal kick. And they're trying to scramble the ball back from Conor Hazard. The referee is in.
What is amazing, when it's not going for you,
it's not going your way. It's been a while since we've heard this.
It's been a long time in coming. It's the shortest kick he's had all night.
Conor Hazard just getting it over the halfway line. And Northern Ireland have just over 2 minutes in which to maintain. That's a slice clearance by Kieran Brown out of play on that far side.
I don't know if he's done his hamstring there.
He doesn't look. He's got a bit of cramp or hamstring.
Possibly a cramp, maybe, Michael. You could be right. Yeah.
He felt that, Kieran Brown. So the Danes have it. Remember, Slovenia leading by 2-1. They're heading to the Euro finals in Germany next year as well. Long ball into the Northern Ireland penalty area. Owen Toll is up, back to goal. Opportunity. Another great save. Oh my goodness. Nearly an own goal by Jamal Lewis in the rebound.
It was incredible.
It's a great save. 2 great saves by Hazard.
I'm not sure whether it was Poulsen at the back post gets the first shot. Hazard saves it. It's come back out and hit
Lewis.
Jamal Lewis. It could have gone in the net.
Oof.
Actually,
he had 2 goals at it. And still Hazard saved. Long ball all the way through to Kasper Schmeichel. I didn't see this coming, John.
Not in a million years, Michael.
I'm one of life's cynics and grumpy people.
Yeah, not in a million years.
So I'm enjoying it all the more.
Yeah.
McMenamin's, as he held the man back, the referee's had a look. It's out to Victor Christensen on the left hand side. Dangerous ball in. It's going to fall to a white shirt. Long range shot's going to come in, and it should have been a long range shot. Charles, the first touch gave it a Shea Charles.
Yeah, Charles should have done better there. He's got a lot of room in front of him. I'll tell you what, Washington nearly got it off the Christensen at the back there.
Into the last minute of additional time. Danes looking for a consolation goal. It's into the penalty area. This should be Conor Hazard's, and is.
Delighted for him, Michael.
He's had a great game.
He's had a great game tonight.
Some terrific saves.
After his mistake on Friday night, I'm very, very pleased for him, considering that he's turned up all the time and he's always been here. So, I mean, the 2 games in a row actually will probably have helped him as well.
Nice flick by Paul Smith. And I'm going to suggest the next long blast of the French referee's whistle will signal a victory for Northern Ireland. The National Stadium at Windsor Park over the team who are heading to the Euros. Strong header by Trey Hume.
Absolutely
now
brilliant.
Paul Smith, he's slaughtered it past the defender. The race is on, but it's played back towards Casper Schmeichel. Smith is going to put Schmeichel under pressure.
That's it.
And that's it, a win for Northern Ireland. What a night, what a second half. 2 brilliant goals have won the game for the home side. They're not going to effectively finish Group H on no points, because you discard the 6 they got against San Marino. They've beaten Denmark comprehensively in the end by 2-0. A brilliant goal from Isaac Price and another super one by Dion Charles in the 60th and 81st minutes. Both of them excellently constructed, brilliantly finished, and the atmosphere is back in South Belfast.
Yeah, and they deserved it, Michael. If you look at the chance that Charles had in the first half as well, which come off the post, obviously Denmark had most of the possession, but at the end of the day it was Northern Ireland that scored the goals, and 2 cracking goals they were, and possibly should have had a third. Conor Hazard had a few saves to make, but to be honest, Michael, those saves were more deflections and whatnot as opposed to clear shot. They scored 2 of the best goals, and for a side of such inexperience, you got to be so pleased with them, so pleased for the supporters who've been waiting for this for a long time. And we finished the group on a high note. But for me, Michael, the big thing was the way we approached the game. We were not funnying about at the back and taking our time. We were getting the ball straight into their box and playing in their final third. And to me, that changed it. And I've been saying this for a long time. I don't know why we haven't been playing like that before. I spoke to Marshall Gillespie before the game, and he was saying to me about, what do you think should happen? I said, I think we should play longer. We've been playing the same way in almost every game we've had since the start of this campaign. And this is the first time we've said, we're not going to play out from the back, we're going to play in the final third. And to me, that was the reason for the result.
The Danish players are going across, receiving applause from the Danish fans in that far corner. Good luck to the Danes in the finals, and good luck to Slovenia, who've beaten Kazakhstan by 2-1.
Probably the 2 best sides throughout the group have actually the 2 that have gone through. And when you look at that performance, you sometimes ask yourself what may have been. But I think it's given us a little bit of a lift.
Something
Michael,
to build on.
Absolutely. For some of them players out there, I think have had the best games that I've seen in a green shirt.
Well, my goodness me, we've waited, haven't we, after what up until tonight had been a fairly dismal campaign. 2 good win here over San Marino. It was only San Marino. Scrappy win in San Marino at the start of the campaign. Some low points. Friday night in Helsinki was a low point. This is the high point of it.
That is the high point. And if you look back at those games, Michael, we lost 1-0. If we had put those teams under that sort of pressure, it would have been a totally different story. And as I said earlier, I think there's a lot of questions been asked and answered tonight, certainly in terms of the players, and I think the way we should be playing.
And let's not forget, there are players to come back. There may be senior players to come back, who knows. But for tonight,
enjoy it.
Rejigged, remodeled, enforced changes, 2 brilliant goals. Look out for the highlights. BBC One Northern Ireland 1040 and on the iPlayer. Delighted to say the National Stadium at Windsor Park, it finished Northern Ireland 2, Denmark 0.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Michael. Well, everybody leaves happy. Northern Ireland leave with a win, and Denmark head off to the Euros next summer. Jim Magilton and Keith Gillespie alongside me. What a second half, Jim, that was.
Yeah, 2 unbelievable goals, 2 fantastic goals, 2 goals of real quality in a game that you did not see it happening. At half-time, you're thinking it's going to be an onslaught from Denmark. We're going to be, backs against the wall, no way out. There wasn't a way out. We couldn't find a way out until Jamal Lewis produces a fantastic piece of play. Great ball, timing of the pass, and then obviously it's a goalkeeping error, but it gave them momentum, and then the second goal's just out of this world.
Keith, enjoy those 2 goals, did you?
Yep. As Jim says, at half-time we never envisaged we sitting here with a 2-0 win. Denmark, I think they were very poor second half, but I think you've got to give us a lot of credit, because we did weather the storm at times, and we were getting a little bit tight, but it only just takes that one second of brilliance. And I suppose Jim and I have been very critical of Jamal Lewis over the last couple of years. And
that was the old Jamal Lewis that we saw in the first couple of games.
Yeah, well, he does have that in his locker where he sort of just jinked and goes past them. And I've always thought maybe he's probably he could be a better left winger than a better left back. But I think Shea Charles, I was actually shout and shoot. I thought they went one pass too many, and we deserved it, because we worked our socks off.
Jamal Lewis actually had almost made a goal shortly before that, Jim, the cross he put in for Owen Toll.
Yeah.
You were off your seat.
Yeah, well, to be fair to the 3 centre halves, the back five, to be fair to 3 centre halves, given the quality of the opposition, I thought they were magnificent tonight. Paddy McNair playing the centre of the 3 was magnificent tonight.
It's amazing the difference, though, Jim, for us at where we are at the minute when you get the first goal in a match.
Yeah, of course.
Feels you something to hang on to, and it made such a difference.
It made such a difference. You could see confidence rise. You could see there was an intensity then, and not only with the ball but without the ball, which they had to have all night anyway, because they were starved of possession as it was. But you're bringing on Conor McManaman, and they're brave substitutions, by the way, Joel, I have to say. Conor McManaman and Paul Smith. That's pace. It gets you higher up the pitch. George Saville produces a fantastic ball.
What a pass that is.
Yeah, but this 1v1, Conor McManaman's been brilliant, and it's a magnificent ball. And Dion Charge, who works so hard, his eyes must have lit up. That one's coming across. He's done so well for the first one, but that one's coming across the box and going, just please make solid contact with it. It's a magnificent counter-attack goal.
And he's only on the pitch as well. From McManaman's point of view, it's, he's up to speed straight away. The weight of the pass, as Jim says. And from that point on, the place are ups. Yep. The feel-good factor's back, and the players head down the tunnel with a spring in their step.
Yeah, I think it was actually his first touch of the game. Actually, I'm not really sure he touched the ball after it either. But, Connor's got that in his locker. It's just a wee jink, and the ball, as Jim said, is absolutely perfect. And plays for Dion Charles, because he did work his socks off tonight. And it is tough up there, because you want him higher up the pitch, but we couldn't really get him higher up the pitch, and that's why we sort of got caged in at times.
Other results tonight, we heard Finland beating San Marino tonight, Slovenia beating Kazakhstan. Slovenia got that late goal. They win 2-1, so they joined Denmark at the finals. Ukraine and Italy drew 0-0. Italy go through thanks to a 0-0 draw. It's so Italian, isn't it? The holders will be at the finals. North Macedonia drew 1-1 with England. Albania and the Faroes, they're in the dying embers. Albania had already qualified. It looks as if that will finish 0-0. Czechia beating Moldova 3-0. That was winner takes all. So for those of you who are keen on these things, a rundown on who'll be at the finals that we know of so far. From Group A, it's Spain and Scotland. From Group B, it's France, and it'll be the Netherlands or Greece. That's decided tomorrow night. It's England and Italy from Group C. It's Turkey and Croatia or Wales from Group D. Albania and Czechia from Group E. From Group F, Austria and Belgium. Hungary and Serbia from Group G. Romania and Switzerland from Group I. And Portugal and Slovakia from Group J. And Slovenia and Denmark from our group. So where does that leave us then at the end of the campaign? The best two performances have been against the team that's topped the group. You think of the VAR decision?
Yeah.
Late on in the game, they could easily have had a point in Copenhagen. They win the game here, and sort of I was going to say mixed bag in between, but it's been kind of narrow defeats and heavier defeats. And
optimism.
What does Michael do?
Optimism.
What does he take from all of this?
I think I think he realises that it's a very tough job, and it's still a rebuild job. tonight should give the younger players in the group a taste of what it's like. And
well, he said he wanted them to experience what a big night and a big win is like.
And they got that.
This is the first time, Jim, that Northern Ireland have beaten a team above them in the FIFA rankings since Ukraine at the Euros in 2016.
Scary. That is scary. But again, it says something about if you get beat 4-0 the game before and then you step onto the park, it says something about people's character and resilience. It says a lot about the manager too. We know that he has that in spades. But what it should have a real impact on the young players. That is one thing that this has to hit home for them. The character, the resilience. You know, they'll be out in their feet, and that's what winning the game of football is all about. You have to do everything you can to win a game of football, and they will be exhausted in there, but happily.
What about the point that John was making? Did you see a difference in terms of how we approached the game and the style? Was it more of, you know, trying to play in the other team's half? We didn't see a lot of this trying to pass it out from the goalkeeper and the three centre backs and trying to build. Is that a change, or was that just because of the nature of who we were playing tonight?
Well, I'm glad that they actually did that, because there's too much of it happens where they just end up losing the ball outside your own box. If you kick the ball up and you fight for that second ball, you know, you're 50, 60 yards from your own goal. You know, you're not going to concede from there. So, you know, we don't see it too often anymore with the way it used to be. You know, everybody get up the pitch and fight for that second ball. But, it's been a miserable campaign, but, you know, I thought the fans were a little bit flat in the first half, but I suppose we didn't really give them much to cheer about. And, you know, once that second goal went in, you know, the place was bouncing. And, you know, Jim and I, we've played in games against, you know, nations that we're not expected to beat, and, you know, there's no better feeling, you know, playing out there and beating, you know, one of the big sides.
There are multiple ways, Jim, to win a football match. What would you say about it tactically tonight compared to what we've watched maybe in previous occasions here in the recent past?
No, I think you got it spot on. I think John pointed out in commentary, we started that way, and then we realised that they were setting traps. So the moment that ball went square, they just pressed, and, you know, it was giving the opposition an opportunity to steal it in 20 yards from goal. So, you know, the thought process around that's just good football decisions. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to play in their half. We're going to play off the second ball. Now, in all fairness, you know, 72% possession still, Denmark, and they lose the game 2-0. So, you know, when you think about that and you think about they have maybe one or two moments in the game. The best moments came from Northern Ireland in terms of real quality.
Hit the post as well in the first half.
Yeah, and that again is getting the opposition's defenders facing their own goal, getting them turned. And they didn't want to do that. They wanted to play at their own pace. Now, again, given that they'd just qualified, you know, there was maybe a lack of intensity in that. They brought their big hitters on. You know, they finished the game with their big hitters. But at that stage, in that time, Northern Ireland had the momentum. Yeah. And it was a difficult one.
Now, the uncontrollable thing for Michael O'Neill, of course, Jim, is the fact of he is, you know, helpless in terms of how these young players develop at clubs and where they're playing and how much they're playing. And the next qualifying campaign, the next World Cup qualifying campaign starts in March 2025, not March 2024, March 2025. There are friendlies in March 24, possible warm-up games in June. Then there's a Nations League campaign, and the first batch of World Cup qualifiers will be 2025 in March. In that month, by then, Johnny Evans will be 37, Stephen Davis will be 40. So, I mean, first of all, do we think we would be seeing them for a campaign at that stage in their career?
Stephen Davis, no. Johnny Davis, maybe. Or Johnny Davis, maybe. Which one? Johnny Evans, maybe. Yeah, and that'll be dependent on Johnny Evans and what he wants to do and how he wants to continue. I think the reality of the situation hasn't really changed. The reality is lads have to be playing at a level. You have to be playing games.
So we've earmarked the ones that we've seen in this campaign who've come up, and they're the ones that we're all going to be sitting maybe on a Saturday afternoon or whatever, and hoping to see that they've either got a loan move if they're not playing first team football at a top club, or they're doing well at the clubs that they're at, or they get a transfer based on what they're doing. It's a big sort of 15 months from that point of view, isn't it? The development of these players, because our future in terms of the international team is in their hands.
You can't turn up to an international game not having played football. You just can't. And it's very, very difficult, because when he names his squads, his fingers crossed nobody gets injured. If they're playing, and if they're not playing, to come into it's so difficult to replicate the levels you have to get to play here and to concentrate for this. And if you're not playing games, it's an impossibility. You're not going to win games of football. It's as simple as that. And these lads have got to force their way into first team. They've got to be playing regularly. They've got to be put under that intense pressure, because nothing replicates it. Nothing replicates it until you step out there.
They're the ones we're going to be watching for, Keith. The 6 or 7 that have kind of got in and around the starting positions when all these gaps have appeared because of the injuries. They're the ones we're going to be looking for in the transfer windows between now and March 25 to see, are they going to go on loan? Are they going to make a breakthrough? If they're not going to make a breakthrough, are they prepared to take maybe a step down to take a step back up again?
Well, exactly. If you're not playing at your club, I mean, some players, Jim and I have played with, they're happy enough when they're not playing. But it frustrates me, that sort of thing, because you always want to play, and especially if you're, as Jim says, if you're coming away and playing international football and you've got aspirations of getting into that, first 11.
Well, let's look at Isaac Bird. Isaac Bird goes to Belgium. Sorry.
Yeah, does he?
Isaac Price.
Have you told Stephen McDonald?
I haven't told Stephen McDonald. Isaac Price goes to Belgium.
Yeah.
He's featured in nearly all of the games here now in the last couple of international windows. He gets his goal tonight. He's leaving with a smile on his face. He maybe could have hung around, could he at Everton and sort of decided, well, I'll play a bit of 23s football or under 23s football, or, go through the motions here. He didn't. So that is that the decision that a lot of the players are going to have to make at some point? Can you step up from under 23s football and play an international? Not
in a million years, unless you're absolutely exceptional, but not in a million years. Like, if you take the extreme, you take it like Cole Palmer leaves Man City because he doesn't feel he's going to play regularly, and goes to Chelsea and is playing regularly, and the benefits for him and the benefits for Chelsea are huge. He's a top player, and he's going to be a top player, but he's going to be playing regularly at Chelsea in the Premier League, and he's probably going to force his way into the England squad. To a lesser extent, these lads have got to be playing first team football to give them a chance of actually playing at a level to get into the international arena, to play football at this level. It's totally different, Joel. It is miles apart from club football.
I think Connor's Conor McManaman. He's a Glentour and he could have stayed there, but he really wants to play international football, and he knew that he had to go to that next level to keep getting into that squad, and we've spoken about it. I think he's a bit unfortunate that he hasn't started more games, and we've seen the impact that he has tonight. So
Connor Bradley leaves Liverpool reserves, or whatever you call it, 23s, still reserves.
Yeah.
Goes to Bolton, and his development physically, right? It was huge, and he can handle it.
Won all the Player of the Season awards, didn't he, when he was there?
It's frightening. So you have to be playing.